increasing to a 4.3% annual rate during the third quarter. President Trump says his tariffs are the reason. Dallas Morning News business editor Javier David is a CBS News contributor.
The economy continues to expand, and that's because consumer spending comprises about 70% of overall U.S. economic activity. So the data tells us the consumers are still opening their wallets, but they're really not happy about it. And a big part of the reason why is the affordability question.
And to that end, the Conference Board says consumer confidence fell again this month to its lowest level since the Trump tariffs began. So what's in those 30,000 pages just released from the Jeffrey Epstein files? A look from CBS's Scott MacFarlane.
Trump's name shows up in the Epstein flight manifest a lot in the 1990s, at least 8 different times. There's also a subpoena that was issued to Mar-a-Lago in 2021 in connection with the Ghislaine Maxwell investigation.
And the Justice Department has taken an unusual step of saying that the documents contain, quote, untrue and sensationalist claims against President Trump, who has not been accused of doing anything illegal. On the immigration front, a judge has ordered due process for 100 Venezuelan men deported to a notorious prison in El Salvador. And this from CBS's Lindsay Reiser.
CBS News has learned the Trump administration is seeking to cancel thousands of asylum cases and deport the applicants to third-party countries. Data obtained by our team shows ICE has filed more than 8,000 requests to toss out asylum cases in immigration court. It's also asking judges to deport those applicants to third-party countries.
And videos of accused illegal immigrants are turning out to be a problem for the administration. CBS's Michael Wallace.
The Washington Post reviewed thousands of internal ICE chat messages and found the White House has urged the agency to post flashy videos of their chases and arrests.
Oh, you thought this was a game, huh?
Many of the videos feature copyright-protected music without the artist's permission. The Trump administration has defended the intensity of the videos, saying Americans want visual proof the president is keeping his promise to deport millions of immigrants.
We often hear bad stuff about self-driving cars, but University of Toronto researchers have found that they could reduce traffic injuries. Dr. Aman Malhotra says most injuries are caused by bad human behavior.
There could be up to 1 million injuries avoided with scaling autonomous vehicle adoption over the next 10 years across the United States. And that's sort of one of the most optimistic scenarios.
The Dow is up 65. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Are we heading for a Christmas Eve windstorm? The story coming up at first. KIRO Newsradio traffic. Snoqualmie Pass, bare and wet, no restrictions. Blewett Pass, snow and slush in places. Traction tires advised there. No oversized vehicles. White Pass, slush and snow. Traction tires required. Cheyenne up your semi. No oversized vehicles. Around the Puget Sound, you are flying. Travel times Everett to Seattle, 22 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 21. Renton to Bellevue, 16. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Live professional boxing is back with the main event February 6th at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The Puget Sound region could get slammed with a Christmas Eve windstorm packing gusts of 50 to 60 miles an hour. Meteorologist Scott Sistek with the Emerald City Weather Blog points out this would come on top of storms that have soaked the ground around trees.
If this pans out, it's going to be a pretty decent storm and there'll be some pretty decent impacts, and I expect there would be quite a few power outages.
Now he stresses not all forecast models are predicting high winds, but you'll want to keep your flashlight handy just in case. Highway 2 remains closed between Skycomish and Leavenworth due to storm damage. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports the timing is tough for small businesses.
Leavenworth business owners say they count on Christmas tourists to get through the slow months, saying they're now worried about barely breaking even.
We have thousands and thousands of visitors normally this time of year.
They tell us the weekends are still busy, but they need steady business on weekdays too.
This lack of traffic coming into town is going to impact many of the small businesses in town, including ours.
With Route 2 closed indefinitely, tourism has slowed to a trickle.
You can get to Leavenworth through Blewett Pass. The owner of a Maple Valley farm blames poor levee maintenance along the Cedar River for the flooding that is wiping out the road to his property. Clint Williford tells KIRO 7 TV.
I'm going to lose access into my property. that could have been prevented.
King County says it does plan to repair 2 levees near Williford's property, but adds the barriers were meant to protect homes, not access roads. An urgent message to motorists from the Washington State Patrol after Trooper Tara Marissa Guting was struck and killed by a car as she was responding to a crash Friday. Patrol spokesperson Chris Loftus tells KIRO 7 TV.
When we are uniquely vulnerable, we have to have unique attention. And we have to pay that. We owe it to one another. We owe it to the people that work on the road. We owe it to the people that use the road. Your eyes up, phone down.
Statewide, in the week leading up to Guting's death, he says 6 other troopers were hit by vehicles. An investigation is underway after a woman was found stabbed to death in the town of Milton Monday. Police say they got a report of an assault at an apartment near Milton Way and 24th Avenue Court. They arrested a woman in her 30s there. It's unclear what the relationship was between the victim and the suspect. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy today with highs in the mid-40s. It is 36 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Unfortunately, Gee is still under the weather. Chef is co-hosting with me this morning. We do have Nick, and we have the rest of the crew, and so we are going to keep you company. I'm hoping that you have most of your shopping done, and you're not doing what I did one holiday season when I started the day before Christmas.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I used to be able to pull off things like that, but I was much better this year. So much better this year. But I have to say, it is exhausting. And even when you're trying to find that one last thing or those 2 last things.
And you panic buy.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
You got to fuel up with Christmas cookies.
This is true. This is true for sure. So how are you all feeling right now? Text us at 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. When it comes to top 10 Christmas attractions in Western Washington, what are your favorites? We want to hear from you. Which ones do you think are worth a visit and which ones do you not? And I will share coming up at 9:30 that I found out some new information about an attraction that I recently visited, and I'm not sure I can still recommend it. So again, that's coming up at 9:30. We want to hear from you, though. Right now, it is time for our top stories brought to you by Bathfitter Northwest. Snoqualmie Valley School District school bus drivers are getting help from the community now after their efforts to get kids home safely meant sacrificing their own vehicles. School bus driver Natalie Alexander spoke with KIRO 7 TV and said she and other drivers had to scramble to get kids home early, then to find higher ground when the bus yard flooded.
We were organizing getting all of our students home safely and doing an emergency early release. It was very intense. Things were changing minute by minute. And, floodwaters were rising rapidly.
And, of course, this was last week, but we're just learning about this now. When Alexander got back to the bus yard to get her own car, the water was up to her thighs.
I opened my door and water rushed in and my boots were full. And so, but I was able to get out of it.
Her vehicle did get damaged significantly. Another bus driver's car was a complete loss. Melissa Lazarick, who has 3 kids attending Snoqualmie Valley schools, started a GoFundMe to help all those drivers out.
I don't personally know the bus drivers, but, they're part of our district, part of our community. I wanted to help them in a small way. Every day they're getting our kids to school, whether it's raining, whether it's dark, whether it's flooding, they're there getting them home safe.
And Alexander says she and the other bus drivers are overwhelmed by all the support.
Completely, it blew me out of left field. I had no idea. Yeah, not something I expected, not at all. And it really warms my heart.
And we wanted to start off with that story because I think we just need reminders constantly that there are so many good people in this world.
You know what I love about some of the GoFundMes and this one is how it's not the people affected who start them, but it's sometimes people they don't even know. We posted one earlier last week for one of our listeners who needs a new transmission for her disability van to get her son and family around. I believe that one was actually started by the bus driver who knows her son and knows her transportation needs. And this is what a wonderful way to help, because I don't know if any of you out there have the kind of car that I drive, but it is not covered by comprehensive insurance. So when you lose your means of transportation and you don't have coverage for it, a lot of people cannot come up with the money to buy a new used vehicle. And that leaves them in a situation where they have to finance a car that may be a lemon and explode 6 months out.
Yeah,
it's
at
such
this
a critical
time of year
thing.
when you're
Yeah.
already so stretched because, of everything else going on. We did put a link to that GoFundMe on the Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page. It was a really emotional moment in federal court yesterday. A disabled U.S. Army vet walked free after spending 4 months locked up at the Northwest ICE Processing Center. This is in Tacoma. The Seattle Times is reporting that Muhammad Chaudhry was detained back in August. We actually reported about it on this show. He had showed up for what was supposed to be a routine citizenship interview, but instead of walking out with next steps, he was taken into custody. And while detained, his family said his serious medical conditions were basically untreated. And yesterday in court, a federal judge didn't mince words. He ruled that the detention was unlawful. He said basic procedures were not followed and that Chaudhry should never have been held in the first place, especially while his deportation has been on pause under a court order since 2020. So this morning, Chaudhry is back at home with his wife and kids. And all of this is for now, because still don't know what the future is for him. But across the state, ICE detentions have been on the increase under the Trump administration, with hundreds of administrative arrests, many involving people with no criminal history. So the question I have for you and all of our listeners right now is, how do you feel, or should ICE be allowed to detain people first and then sort out whether it's lawful later?
How about hell no? How about hell no, especially when they're ignoring court orders? And before you even ask the question, well, did this guy have some kind of a bad check that he wrote in the past or a DUI? It does not matter. There's a court order that says his deportation is on pause. This is someone who gets snatched up at a routine hearing where they're showing up to do the right thing. And even if that person had some sort of criminal issue in the past, guess what? They served their time for it or paid their fines, made their restitution. To be locked up for 4 months. Think about the crimes that you have to do now to get locked up for 4 months. It is none of this low-level stuff that some of these people have. And a lot of the detainees at these detention centers have committed no crimes whatsoever. Some have been held for up to 2 years.
Yes.
Mr. Chaudhry's detention cost U.S. taxpayers nearly $20,000 paid to Geo Group, which is a for-profit private prison. Now, it seems to me like we're kidnapping people and placing them in detention in order to force taxpayers to fund a private prison.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. It's unlawful. And just a few more details about him. He is a lawful permanent resident. He was honorably discharged from the Washington National Guard. He's a longtime community advocate. Now, ICE is claiming that he didn't fully disclose a past foreign conviction, which seems to come up a lot, these foreign convictions. And related immigration paperwork issues. But again, he was basically here legally. He was very involved in the community. And this is not the person that you expect to be put, without his due process, put away for 4 months.
It's strange who this never applies to, right? Like, you'd think somebody who came on a fraudulent visa, like, say, an Einstein visa that's reserved for, Nobel laureates, etc., like Melania Trump did, a person who came here and worked illegally under a visa. She originally came here as a model, worked, and she was not supposed to do that. You'd think that that would apply to people like her, but it doesn't.
Under the rules today, it would. but it didn't, right? I mean,
well,
yeah.
who is this being enforced on?
Theoretically, exactly.
Who is it being enforced on?
I mean, yes, people of color, yes. Former Seahawk DK Metcalf's single swipe at a Detroit Lions fan on Sunday could end up costing him tens of millions of dollars.
DK Metcalf had mixing it up with someone in the stands.
Oh, my gosh.
And that is not going to have great consequences for the Steelers and Metcalf.
Okay, Chef, for people who didn't actually see the video, I want you to describe what you saw, because I'll tell you what.
You see this Detroit Lions fan with a blue wig leaning over the edge of the stands towards the end zone, yelling something at DK Metcalf, and DK beelines right towards him, looks up at him, grabs his shirt, it looks like, and then smacks him on the face. Allegedly, that fan said a racial slur and disparaged his mother. The fan says he just used his full government name. I saw a video this morning of the full interaction. I heard no racial slurs in that. That's not to be saying none happened.
It's just there's no proof of it, and this is the problem. So Metcalf now plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was handed down a 2-game suspension yesterday. And according to NFL.com writer Ian Rappaport, who usually knows what he's talking about, he says if this decision is upheld, it would not just void the rest of Metcalf's salary for this season, but $45 million in future guarantees over the next 2 years. I mean, that's expensive. And I hope that DK has some good representation to fight that.
Yeah, he'll appeal.
He'll appeal, of course. But I'm thinking, did he have a good season?
He did
Nick,
okay.
did he
I think he's got
season?
like 820 yards.
Yeah, I mean,
he's their top receiver, but not top of the NFL.
Okay, because I was going to say, how hard are they going to fight for him, right?
Yeah, it's really difficult now these days. I mean, he just always is just getting himself in the way. And as a Seahawks fan, when he was like on his way out near the end, it was just so tough to defend him because he was doing things that were just ill-advised and not anybody could agree with.
Prima donna, whiny baby.
Yes.
I have to.
He was initially. Do you remember when I used to say, that was my guy, that's my guy? I was like, that lasted for one season.
It did.
He became just this. It's one of those, it's such a waste of such a great talent.
Yes.
And the thing is, he still is a great talent and he could change, but it's been year after year, the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, the talent stays the same. The personality doesn't change either.
Too hard.
And this is like if you are stuck in an absolutely toxic marriage, right? But you don't want a divorce because you know it's going to cost you a ton of money. She's going to get the house. And then she goes out and cheats on you and provides you the proof. This is like what DK is doing to the Steelers. He's handing them this gift. Like, if you want to get rid of me, get rid of me.
Exactly. That's what I was
thanks
saying.
for the second-round pick, Pittsburgh.
If he didn't have such a good season, it's like, well, we can just offload him now.
Yep.
Wow. That's an expensive mistake. For the first time in nearly 120 years, nurses at Seattle Children's Hospital are on the brink of a strike. Registered nurses voted overwhelmingly to authorize a walkout if contract talks don't improve. Now, the Washington State Nurses Association, which represents about 2,100 nurses, says this is a last resort after months of stalled negotiations. And they say their concerns include staffing shortages, workplace safety, sick leave, missed breaks, and, of course, pay. This nurse tells KIRO 7 TV their pay lags other West Coast children's hospitals.
To say that they compensate us appropriately is deceptive.
But Seattle Children's Hospital leaders say they are bargaining in good faith. They believe their compensation is competitive, and they warn that a strike would be very disruptive for patients and families.
I love the nurses at Seattle Children's. I had a recent experience. We had to take both Matthew and Alice into the emergency room at night just last week with suspected meningitis. And the treatment and the care that we received at Seattle Children's was above and beyond the best hospital care I've ever received in my life. Mm-hmm. Every single person there, from the receptionist at urgent care to the receptionist in the ER to the probably 8 different doctors that we talked to, all of the nurses incredibly kind. Incredibly kind.
Yes, we've had the same experience.
They brought my kids, crayons and coloring books. Oh, are they, do they want a popsicle? Can we get you a sandwich? Can I get you a soda? It was an amazing experience. Yes. So I love the nurses. I'm sure there are some very legitimate complaints in here. Pay does not seem to be one of them. In 2022, we were celebrating the fact that they got a new contract, a $10 an hour raise for all 1,700 nurses. By August 2024, newly graduated nurses, their starting salary would be the highest in the city at $47.60 an hour. Let's see, by the end of the 3-year contract, which is just finished up, the beginning of the pay scale for nurses went up 49%.
Yes.
How have you done in the last 3 years?
Yeah, we highlighted it on our show.
Yeah.
When it happened. And I actually did a little bit of digging, and I looked at what does Children's Hospital in Los Angeles pay, for example. And it's very similar.
Yeah.
So they're not underpaid.
No, and I don't begrudge them the money.
No.
But I also don't like hearing things that may not be quite exactly the truth.
Yeah, and even though their wages are high by national standards, they may believe they lag behind. Why? Because everything's so expensive here. I mean, you could argue it's also expensive in L.A., but I think that's one of the things that they say when you adjust for cost of living and experience and specialty differences, then they're not making as much as they should. That's their argument. And I think that there are other things that they could argue and bargain for. I would have a hard time feeling sympathetic about the pay part. They're also not happy that travel nurses still come in and get paid more.
Well,
and I think that's a sticking point, too.
That's a staffing issue, too.
Yes.
The fact that you'd pay $200 an hour versus the $40 if you just had appropriate staffing.
Yes, exactly. There was one flashpoint that was brought up. Nurses say it took 28 bargaining sessions before the hospital agreed to keep contract language that stated simply, this is a quote, "Racism has no place within Seattle Children's Hospital." 28 bargaining sessions. Now, for their part, the hospital says it never questioned that particular value. It was basically saying it shouldn't be in a labor contract. It should be part of internal policies.
But was it, considering the spate of recent lawsuits?
Thank you. And that was my point. It was like, you know what? Okay. And this is where good mediation needs to come in. But, Children's Hospital, I would say, don't fight that one.
Yes.
Given what you've just gone through.
Yes. Not a good look.
And like you, I've only had tremendously positive experiences at Seattle Children's. We are very lucky to have that institution in this region. Yeah. I mean, people come from all over the world and all over the country to have their kids treated there. So I hope they can figure this out without actually having to go on strike.
On that note, sometimes I think we forget the resources that we have in Western Washington, whether it's the Harbor Views or the Seattle Children's Hospital, because I'm thinking, like, what do I do as a parent if I live in Adams County?
Oh,
and the doctor says, you need to get your child to Seattle Children's ER because they have the diagnostics for your children, and you need to go now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a full weekend. Are you driving through the night?
Yeah.
We're pretty lucky.
We are. And you're also lucky because your kids do not have meningitis. They're okay.
For the most part, yeah.
They're still,
they're good.
Yeah,
they're good.
Definitely not meningitis. Okay, still ahead. What are some of your favorite Western Washington Christmas attractions? What are you like? This is something that you do every single year if you can. We're going to talk about that next. And there's one that I just experienced that in finding out a little more information, I'm like, do I still support it? Okay, we'll have that coming up next on the Gee and Ursula Show.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everyone. It's John Curley from KIRO Radio's John Curley Show. Remember, the greatest present you can give is yourself. Your presence is the greatest present. Besides, it's really hard to re-gift your Uncle Bob. He makes a lot of noise in the box. From all of us here at KIRO Radio and the John Curley Show, have yourself a Merry Christmas and, of course, a Happy New Year.
From KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
If you have a family, you know that your car has to do a lot to take your family around, and that is why I have trusted my Subaru. I drive an Outback. It has been perfect for our family, and we bought it at Carter Subaru. It was the second car that our family purchased from that very dealership, and their fantastic customer service is the reason that we are going to keep coming back in the future. Right now, they have the largest selection in the state, including the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek with 1.9% financing for 72 months on approved credit. And during the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru donates $250 for every new Subaru purchased to one of 6 charities, including my hometown favorite, Treehouse. You are driving home in something very reliable and I would say chic, and you're doing a little good at the same time. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or get started at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 12/31/25.
As a fan, you know all the important sports cliches. And when you save money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive, you can get out there and give it 110%, even though that's mathematically impossible. And remember, failure is not an option. Well, it's always an option, just not a good one. But you're not worried because you've got ice in your veins. You're on fire. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, that's between you and your doctor. So get out there and leave it all on the field. Leave what? Who cares? Just leave it and save with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out on my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I wanted to.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
revivementalth.com. Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. Claim your free panel today. Call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
It's a freezing night, and suddenly your heating dies. A fix could take several days or longer. Don't let this happen to you. If your system's 12 years or older, it's on borrowed time. Upgrade now to a dependable Mitsubishi electric heating and air conditioning system and keep your family comfortable. Schedule a consultation today at homecomfortalliance.com. For all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, visit homecomfortalliance.com. That's homecomfortalliance.com. And happy holidays to all.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
I'm grateful people are on the road and going to see family and on the move.
A traveler at SeaTac Airport, which expects today to be its busiest travel day of the end-of-year holiday season. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha has more.
We've actually talked to a number of travelers who said they're taking off a little bit earlier this year and staying later because of the way the holidays are falling as far as the days of the week, with Thursday and then Friday off. So many people are going to be out until past this weekend. So we could see a busy day on Monday, this coming Monday as well. So the bottom line, if you need to get here early, definitely check your flights.
159,000 passengers are expected at SeaTac today, 154,000 on Friday. Nurses at Seattle Children's Hospital are one step closer to a strike. More from KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery.
Both sides have attended dozens of negotiation sessions, and in a vote on Monday, union nurses gave the bargaining team the green light to declare a strike if needed. By law, the union must give 10 days' notice. At issue are pay, sick time, rest breaks, and recruiting experienced nurses. The hospital says in a statement they are working to reach a fair agreement but are navigating, quote, devastating economic headwinds. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Nordstrom Rack is moving its downtown Seattle store. The off-price retailer tells the Puget Sound Business Journal it plans to leave Westlake Center and head 2 blocks east, where it'll take over the Forever 21 space at 601 Pine Street. New numbers show the economy grew between July and September. The gross domestic product up 4.3%. CBS's Javier David.
We have a jobs market that's clearly weakening and consumers deeply unhappy. Real affordability crisis, but the economy continues to expand, and that's because consumer spending comprises about 70% of overall U.S. economic activity.
Americans are spending more, some of that just due to increased prices. The Consumer Confidence Index fell to 89.1 this month, with worries over inflation and President Trump's tariffs. That's close to April's reading when Trump first rolled out his taxes on imported goods. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 227 points, NASDAQ ahead 121. KIRO News Radio traffic, no major blocking issues. Let's check the passes. Snoqualmie Pass, bare and wet, no restrictions. Blewett Pass, snow and slush in places. Traction tires advised, no oversized vehicles there. White Pass, very similar, slush and snow. Traction tires advised, no oversized vehicles. All lanes of northbound State Route 167 are back open this morning in Pacific. Repairs from a bridge strike have wrapped up ahead of the schedules. Travel times Everett to Seattle 22 minutes, Federal Way to Seattle 21, Renton to Bellevue 16. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy with highs in the mid-40s today. It's 36 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Thank you so much for joining us on this day before Christmas Eve. I don't mean to put any pressure on anybody, but hey,
None at all.
We were talking about Christmas attractions, and there's an article that pointed out 5 of America's most complained about Christmas attractions. And I looked at the list and I was like, I don't even know most of them.
Right.
So we're just going to forget about that article, and we're going to use it as a jumping off point to talk about some of our favorite attractions in Western Washington. And it turns out we looked at a list. You came up with a list and it was like, oh, yeah. I think we've been to most of them. So
I think we have.
And I think the question is, which ones are worth a visit and which one do you say, yeah, I can do without it?
Well, first on the list is Leavenworth.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to default to things that don't cost money. Now, it costs money to get there, of course, but you don't have to spend a ton of money once you're in Leavenworth. Peruse the shops, grab yourself a bratwurst, have a nice winter beer, German beer, something like that. It's a wonderful, and it's completely adequately, perfectly rated. It's a great tradition.
It is a great tradition, especially around Christmas time and the lights. And right now, you would have to still work a little bit to get there, right?
Yeah, you got to go I-90 to Blewett Pass. It's,
right.
A little bit longer, but it's still worth the drive.
And if you are to go there, what I've heard is it's not as crowded. So if you have avoided Leavenworth in the past, you can enjoy it now without all the big crowds, because a lot of people are like, no, and as long as Highway 2 is not available, we're just not going to go. But quick question.
Yes.
Do you think the German theme, the Bavarian theme, is kitschy, or do you think it's
Oh yeah, it's
quirky?
incredibly tacky. But it's also kind of delightful too.
Yeah,
I
as
mean,
someone who, my dad is Bavarian, and even he liked it. It's kind of sweet.
I'll take Bavarian themed over strip mall any day.
Yes.
Now, you're going to have to sell me on Snowflake Lane, because I have never been. I just kind of have an adverse reaction to some sort of commercial event in Bellevue. That's the only perception I have of it.
You mentioned free.
Yes.
It's free. It is something that it's a nightly event, and you just line up. So first of all, if you have to do Christmas shopping anyway, or any kind of holiday shopping, free parking at Bell Square. Props to Bell Square or the Bellevue Collection. And if you enjoy parades and just seeing kids smile and, having
Do they
the
throw
fake
candy?
snow, they give out candy.
Oh, sweet. Okay,
They
yeah.
absolutely give out candy. You see the people in the stilts, the princesses, the festive floats. It's all of it. If you feel good when you watch a parade, you'll love Snowflake Lane.
Okay. I think I'm sold.
Yeah. Nightly, 7 p.m. through December 24th.
And largest free event, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. Number 3 on this list was Wild Lanterns at Woodland Park Zoo. Now, I've been to this one. You have not. I would honestly call, when I went, and this was 2 years ago, relatively underwhelming. There's beautiful light displays, but it's such a large area.
Yes.
And
Walking
it's just
shoes.
like spectacle-wise, it does not compare with Zoo Lights down at Point Defiance.
Zoo lights. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Which I know makes the list. Garden Delights, which is something I've never attended. That's the Bellevue Botanical Garden, and it features over 500,000 lights shaped into whimsical flowers, plants, birds, and cascading waterfalls.
That sounds pretty cool.
It does. Okay,
That sounds
you know
pretty
what
cool.
hasn't made the list?
What?
But is incredible in terms of lights? Not even joking, and no jokes. But
I know where you're going.
yeah, Marysville?
Tulalip?
Yes. Have you seen the lights out there?
Yes. Yeah,
I
it is
can't
pretty
even remember
incredible.
how many lights they have, but that is pretty darn spectacular. And you want pictures for the gram or just pictures?
And maybe you'll just stop in and drop a couple swipes of the card.
We said we want to make it free.
It is free, yes.
So yeah, you don't need to do that. Okay.
Now, what about this Christmas market? Because you've been to the Christmas market at the Seattle Center. What was your experience?
So, for those of you if you've ever been to a Christmas market in Europe, and I've been to the one in Berlin, which is incredible. If you've been there, you know what an amazing experience that is. Now, if you go there expecting that, this is at Seattle Center. If you go there expecting that, you're going to be wildly disappointed. But this is a German-themed outdoor market. There is an entrance fee. And in years past, it was higher, so they brought it down. And
It's $20 this year.
Well, I think ours was $10.
Okay.
So, unless I don't remember correctly, but it was lower because a lot of people complained about it. But it's essentially there are some performances, a ton of food booths, a ton of craft booths, expensive.
Yes.
So you pay an entrance to go in to pay high price.
Pay to shop?
Yes, essentially.
What an exclusive experience.
I did actually post about it, and I was very positive about it. And a few people complained about the entrance fee. But now I'm wondering if I should have posted and recommended it because you have found out a little bit of information about it.
Yeah, so For 5 weeks, this Christmas market takes over this huge public area, right?
Yes.
Fisher Pavilion block and South Fountain Lawn.
Yes.
They fence it off, so you have to pay to get in.
Yes.
It's a huge parking fiasco. And it's run by one guy. His name's Malte Klutz. He's the CEO of the Vancouver and Seattle Christmas markets. He started doing this up in Vancouver first. He figured out how to capitalize on Christmas. Now, I think the German festivals, traditional Christmas markets, open entry,
Yes.
you can wander in and
Don't
out.
pay to get in.
Exactly.
I haven't.
So I ran the numbers on this guy, and he makes an estimated $9 million a year off of this. And for that privilege, he pays the city of Seattle $525,000. Did I mention the fact that there was no bid for this at all? And the fact that someone can come in and basically use public land for a pittance. He charges vendors $6,000 minimum just to have a booth there, plus 10% commission.
Okay,
it
so
seems
here's
like a
my
giant
question.
racket to
I
me.
know. So this is why I'm now. It does sound like a big money making scheme or a money making operation. I shouldn't say scheme because he's doing everything legally. The city of Seattle does not have to agree to it. The vendors don't have to agree to it. So it is someone who's saying, "Hey, here's my idea. I'm going to do it." I put more of the onus on the city versus this person who has this idea.
I don't blame him for it, but at the same time, when you sign a deal through a quote strategic partnership and you never open up that bidding process to the public, obviously it seems like there's cronyism involved. And I think that the Seattle Center and that whole area has been underused for so long. I would love to see small independent businesses be able to access that area for free instead of paying some guy who's doing it for profit $6,000. That immediately limits what kind of products you can sell and also what the price point of those have to be. It's public property.
It is public property, but again, this is the first time that I think I've ever heard even someone scrutinize how much this person makes. I didn't even know who runs this market. I just gleefully went in there.
Yeah, well, it's a question I think we need to start asking more because the city's plan for Seattle Center is to turn that into a revenue generator for the city. Not necessarily against that, but at what cost to taxpayers? Who's allowed in?
Well, and
who's getting the contracts?
And I get that it's different coffers, different budgets, and different way of looking at it. But isn't the city of Seattle facing a budget deficit right now?
Sure.
And every time I bring up why is it that we always go to the taxpayers first to say, hey, we want you to pay more because we're dealing with a deficit. It's like that's the kind of thing, what you just mentioned. It's like you're leaving money on the table.
If you had the largest park in the city of Edmonds being taken over by a private business, for profit, that charged residents entry, I think that would be a problem. And I think it's a problem here too.
Yes. Christiane Bainbridge said, Christmas market is not free. I went online. Yes. Christmas market here was not free. And I'll check on the ones, but I don't remember paying in Europe when I went.
You know what is free around here that I really love?
What's
in Bellevue, Candy Cane Lane. I used to go all the time. It's a great attraction. Plus, you can go shopping afterwards. Great atmosphere on there.
Okay, and now Candy Cane Lane.
On Bellevue, near the Bellevue Mall. They go every day, every night after Thanksgiving.
Oh, no, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
That's
one of my
Snowflake
favorites.
Lane. Absolutely.
Snowflake Lane.
Now,
there
Candy
we go.
Cane Lane is different, though.
Yeah. I got
Candy Cane Lane is in Ravenna.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That's another one that's free.
Okay.
That's another one
What a
that
coincidence.
absolutely is a must-do. Okay, still ahead, we're going to do another holiday edition of Would You Rather. Okay, stick around for that.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everyone. It's John Curley from KIRO Radio's John Curley Show. Remember, the greatest present you can give is yourself. Your presence is the greatest present. Besides, it's really hard to re-gift your Uncle Bob. It makes a lot of noise in the box. From all of us here at KIRO Radio and the John Curley Show, have yourself a Merry Christmas and, of course, a Happy New Year.
From KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who will give it to you straight. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through January 4th, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Make this the last holiday season in that old kitchen. Hi, this is Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Our solid wood refacing system delivers a luxurious new kitchen way easier and less expensive than a tear out. You won't believe the difference. Heritage Homecraft's specialty is custom cabinet refacing and quartz countertops. With Heritage Homecraft, custom means built from scratch just for you. Our own craftsmen, not subcontractors, will reface your existing cabinet boxes with 1/4-inch thick solid hardwood and add new custom-built solid hardwood doors. We can make design changes, add cabinets, install custom features, and top it all off with a brand new quartz countertop. With the holidays here, I know everyone's busy, but if you order your new Heritage Homecraft kitchen now for select install dates after the new year, I'll give you 12% off the entire project. Hey, all year long and especially next holiday season, you'll be delighted that you did. Call today, Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
Worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
That's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchie's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member, you get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchie's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchie.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
The 37th Annual Holiday Magic was another one for the record books. Thanks to everyone who donated.
You always come through.
It's not too late to donate. Just go to mynorthwest.com/holidaymagic.
Join Northwest Hope and Healing for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration, benefiting local breast and gynecologic cancer patients. Get your tickets now for January 31st. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 skills-based degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start January 7th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is feeling a little sick today, but he gives all of you his best. and is looking forward to the new year. Well, actually, we're planning on being back next week.
I hope he'll
be
feeling
recovered
good.
by then. But a lot of people are sick right now, unfortunately. Okay, let's do it. Let me make something crystal clear. This one truly scares me.
It's time to make Ursula uncomfortable.
Hey, Gee's not here, so it's my time to make Chef uncomfortable and Nick
All right,
uncomfortable.
perfect.
Okay, because we're going to do Would You Rather. So let me start off because we're going to do holiday edition. Let's try to do rapid fire.
Okay,
What do you think?
sounds good.
Would you rather bring the best gift at White Elephant or steal the best gift and become the villain?
Bring the best gift. Definitely.
Why?
I mean, like, at max, it's a $25 present, usually low value. I don't want to be seen as the villain. I'd rather unload something that people actually enjoy.
Okay, how about you, Nick?
I would be the gift giver too. I just don't think I would, it would ruin the rest of the night if you came in empty-handed and everyone's like, oh, it's the guy that didn't have anything.
No. But when you steal the gift, so when you do White Elephant, everyone brings a gift. So
Yeah.
assuming that you brought the gift, but at the end, a lot of times, so this just happened in my most recent White Elephant, which we call Purple
Get to go
Elephant.
last.
Yes. Well, I had the first choice, and then they gave me the last choice. So I guess the rule was, since you picked first, at the end of it, you get to
Steal from someone
I'd
else.
still rather be the one who gives the better gift than take it away. Because it's the same kind of argument, because I wouldn't want to be looked at like, oh, he took the best one.
It's part of the deal.
Yeah,
And that's what I
it's part of
told
the game.
myself, because you know what? I ended up taking the best gift, which is quite frankly unlike me. But I was like, you know what? I'm tired of being always that one that tries to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so we'll do a little Christmas movie theme here. Would you rather have Clark Griswold from Christmas Vacation decorate your house? Remember that moment? Or would you rather have Buddy the Elf cook your Christmas dinner? And I don't know if you recall Buddy the Elf from the movie Elf, Will Ferrell. His specialty is spaghetti noodles with spaghetti sauce, maple syrup, M&Ms, and a whole bunch of chocolate and other candy.
Yes. Give me the elf breakfast. Haven't you ever had a s'mores pizza before? It's the same pasta and dough, same kind of element, and you're just putting sweets on top instead of savory.
All right.
And with Chevy Chase, I would be way stressed out with how much maintenance would be involved and how many electrical mistakes are going to be, Less stress with Buddy.
Oh, I'm going with Chevy Chase. To this day, that is still my favorite Christmas movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And just Regular Vacation is still my favorite comedy of all time.
Ursula embraces the drama over there.
Well, you know what? It's memorable.
It is.
Well, I'd have to go with Buddy cooking my dinner because I actually like my neighbors. And I don't have anyone next door to me that's named Chet. So, all right,
I hope he wouldn't repeat what he did in the movie.
No, maybe
not. How about this? Would you rather have a fully traditional holiday meal or a Pacific Northwest remix with seafood, sourdough, seasonal veggies, and just not the traditional holiday meal?
I could definitely go for traditional Pacific Northwest. I make a fantastic clam chowder.
Oh.
And I could eat clam chowder like 3 meals a day, 100 days of the year.
Yum. Okay,
when I was a sous chef at Anthony's, and I'd open the kitchen every day, and I always had clam chowder for breakfast. It's so good.
It is so good. And Anthony's clam chowder is so good. So what's the secret to your clam chowder?
What's the secret to it? Well,
lots of clams.
Lots of clams.
Not so many potatoes.
Fresh herbs, definitely fresh herbs. I like to use some white miso in there too.
Ooh.
That's a really good addition to it.
Okay, what about you, Nick?
Well, I'm not going to bash on the classic holiday dinner, because that's always great. The turkey, the ham, the prime rib. But I'm with Chef 2, where some of my favorite foods are the classic Northwest ones, like the, either roasted salmon or my favorite in the appetizers, the smoked salmon with a little cream cheese and crackers on there. That's my favorite. I like to mix things up too. Every year, it doesn't have to be the same.
We're also getting into oyster season because winter is the best time of year for oysters.
Oh.
So I could definitely clean up some oysters.
Okay, let's squeeze 2 more in.
All right. So would you rather have to stick a bar of Lifebuoy soap in your mouth for a full minute?
You ready to tell me? Where did you hear that word?
It's always you heard it from your father. That's the answer. So would you rather have to stick a bar of Lifebuoy soap in your mouth for a full minute or stick your bare wet tongue to a frozen pole for 3 seconds?
I triple dog dare you.
I'm going with the soap.
Really?
Yeah. I you know, when you get a burn on your tongue, how that bothers you for a long time?
Yeah.
I would not want the effects of freezing my tongue.
Oh, the Lifebuoy soap doesn't have the piquant flavor that the Palmolive does.
I'm taking soap all day. It's one of the, scratching a white chalkboard for me is like seeing the tongue stretched out. It's like, oh, that looks really painful.
Yes.
Those kids just aren't smart. All you have to do is spit on the pole first, and you're good. Or you just have a little thing of hot water and pour it over there, and you're fine.
That's not part of the deal, though. It's got to be frozen, you know?
Exactly.
I just said stick it to the pole.
Oh, okay.
Okay, how about this? Oh, you changed the rule there. Jeff and Bonnie Lake asks, would you rather have to host the show on Christmas morning or New Year's morning?
Ooh.
And you have to pick one.
Either way, it's not much sleep.
This is true.
In the past, it wouldn't have been possible on New Year's morning. So I just have to go with Christmas morning.
I'm going with New Year's morning because by then you're kind of done with the holidays and you're ready to get going for the new year.
Give me Christmas. I feel like nobody's going to be listening on New Year's Day. They're just going to be sleeping after partying all night.
I guarantee you no one's going to be listening Christmas morning either.
They have Christmas mornings with the family. Maybe flick on the radio, you know?
Hey, that was fun. Okay, still ahead, we have 2 major updates on stories that we've brought you. Chris Sullivan's going to join us and Charlie Harg is going to join us as well. Stay with us.
Fall is here, school's back in session, and business will soon be booming with the upcoming holiday season. So get ready with help from WaFd Bank. Position your business for success with services like payment processing, so customers can buy through kiosk, mobile, online, contactless, whatever way they want to pay. Plus, get industry-leading security and personalized help from dedicated IT support so you can focus on the important stuff. With so many options, WaFd Bank can make your business goals a reality. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com. CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would it leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. If your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection on the drivetrain, AC, and more. Get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. 800-303-4223. 800-303-4223.
So Pure Talk just had their best year ever and asked me if I'd like to thank their customers on their behalf for being so awesome. I said sure. It's important to say thanks, especially this time of year, which is why, as one of their many satisfied customers, I should probably thank Pure Talk first for keeping their customer service in this country and for providing hundreds of American jobs. I appreciate that. I also appreciate their Roundup program, which makes it easy to support America's Warrior Partnership and join the fight against veteran suicide. And I love that Pure Talk donated 1,000 hand-sewn Made in America flags to veterans around Independence Day. And of course, I really appreciate their generous support of my own foundation, MicroWorks, and their commitment to help us train the next generation of skilled workers. Having said all that, it's now my pleasure, on behalf of everyone at Pure Talk, to thank you sincerely for choosing to do business with an American wireless company that actually stands for something. And one more thing. Merry Christmas.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Peter King. A positive economic growth report is a nice Christmas present for many, and President Trump says his tariffs are the reason for this.
The Commerce Department says GDP grew at an annual rate of 4.3% from July to September, up from 3.8% during the spring.
This is the strongest growth that we've seen in GDP in a couple of years.
PNC Chief Economist Gus Fauché says consumer spending and exports led the surge, but he expects slower growth in the current quarter and into 2026.
Job growth is slowing, income growth is slowing, so consumer spending growth will slow as households need to be a little more cautious with their spending.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
And the Conference Board is less optimistic, saying consumer confidence is now at its lowest level since the Trump administration tariffs begin back in April. President Trump's name appears in a lot of the latest documents released from the Jeffrey Epstein files. CBS's Scott MacFarlane with one example.
According to the email, Trump is listed as a passenger on at least 8 flights between 1993 and 1996, including at least 4 that co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell was on board. The email also notes Trump flew on 2 occasions with women described as possible witnesses in a potential Maxwell case in a likely already public criminal complaint filed in 2020 by a Jane Doe against the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. The plaintiff alleges at the age of 14, Epstein introduced her to Trump at Mar-a-Lago in the mid-1990s.
The president has not been accused of doing anything illegal. It looks like a record-breaking Christmas travel period for flyers. Here's CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
More than 10 million Americans have already passed through TSA checkpoints during this busy end-of-the-year holiday rush. The TSA says it expects 44.3 million flyers between last Friday and Sunday, January 4th.
But atmospheric rivers threaten to ruin the holiday for Californians with snow and rain in the north and more rain in the south. CBS News meteorologist Rob Marciano.
The Los Angeles area is bracing for a rare high risk for flash floods Wednesday, especially worrying for people who live near the Palisades and Eaton fire burn scars.
If there are landslides, we won't be able to get out.
It's now 46 tries with no big jackpot winner, so those lottery machines are probably begging for mercy, with Powerball players hoping to win tomorrow night's $1.7 billion jackpot. Philip Walton of Albany, Louisiana, already has plans for his winnings.
I got a new truck. I don't need no more truck. My wife kind of crippled, so I might get an elevator put in so she can get in and out of the truck.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 87 points. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
A possible Christmas Eve windstorm. The story coming up at first. KIRO News Radio traffic. No major blocking issues. Checking the passes. Snoqualmie Pass is bare and wet with no restrictions. Same thing for Blewett Pass. White Pass, slush and snow. Traction tires advised. No oversized vehicles there. All lanes of northbound State Route 167 are back open in Pacific. Repairs after a bridge strike, they've wrapped up ahead of schedule. Your travel times, you're flying in the Puget Sound region. Everett to Seattle, 22 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 21. Renton to Bellevue, 16. Travel brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Some weather models show we are in for a major windstorm on Christmas Eve. Other models say the storm that's headed our way won't be that bad. If the storm does hit, meteorologist Scott Sistak with the Emerald City Weather Blog says it would be unusual because most of our storms come off the ocean.
This storm would be coming almost from the due south. So it's coming up from California.
And so it's going to be like nothing's happening until the storm gets here, and then it's happening.
He says it would hit sometime between 1 and 4 in the afternoon tomorrow, and he thinks it would be over pretty quickly. The owner of a Maple Valley farm says some of the damage from recent flooding could have been prevented. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu explains.
Clint Williford spoke with KIRO 7 while he watched his land wash away. And even more importantly, pieces of the road.
I'm going to lose access into my property that could have been prevented.
Williford blames the issue on poor river management, specifically levee maintenance. King County tells us the nearby levees were designed to protect homes in the area, not the road that Williford's concerned about.
Storm damage has closed Highway 2 between Skycomish and Leavenworth, and as KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports, it's unclear when it will reopen.
WashDOT officials say debris cleanup and some repairs are underway, but that process is lengthy.
An extended closure, and we just genuinely don't know. I can say that my team is working with emergency contractors tirelessly.
WashDOT tells us snow and ice are slowing down the cleanup and repairs.
Damage is estimated to be in the millions. Slow down, move over, and put your phone away.
We've just got to do better.
That is the State Patrol's urgent message after Trooper Tara Marissa Guting was struck by 2 cars when she responded to a crash Friday. Spokesman Chris Loftus tells KIRO 7 TV in the week leading up to Guting's death, 6 other troopers were hit by vehicles. King County Public Health says 5 people became ill with E. coli food poisoning after eating at a Bellevue teriyaki restaurant. 4 had to be hospitalized but have since recovered. E. coli comes from raw meat. In this case, investigators say raw meat and vegetables were washed too closely together, leading to contamination that caused the outbreak. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy today with highs in the mid-40s. It's 36 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show, just 48 hours before Christmas. How you doing this morning? G, unfortunately, is not doing that well, but he's working hard on recovering so he can join us again next week.
He's coming up with a full list of random questions to throw at you at exactly this moment at the top of the hour.
I don't feel like I'm doing my job because I didn't ask enough random questions already this morning. But we've got a lot coming up this hour, including when it comes to the race of life, who ends up finishing first? Would you believe it could be the late bloomers? We'll talk about that. Text us at 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
What's new at 10?
In this hour, we do have an update on that young boy who has been living in a tent near Aurora Avenue in Seattle. In case you missed it, Seattle Morning host Charlie Harger's investigation last week revealed that a 9-year-old boy was being left alone without school, without any kind of stable care. But Charlie joins us live this morning, and it sounds like there is something positive that's happened.
Yeah, so this was a story so many listeners, viewers, readers were concerned about because this is a 9 or 10-year-old boy. Mom is addicted to fentanyl, working as a sex worker on Aurora. And you're right, this boy was left in his tent alone at all hours of the day and night. Mom would sometimes bring Johns back to the tent and make the boy wait outside. A rough situation. Neighbors had called CPS, they'd called SPD, and they kept getting the same answer. Because of the state's Keeping Families Together Act, nothing could be done because the boy was not what they deemed to be in immediate danger.
Which was mind-boggling.
So you can do fentanyl in front of a kid. You can commit spousal abuse in front of your child. A whole laundry list of things.
Not have him in school.
Not have him in school, but it doesn't rise to the level, at least at the time, that they thought was an immediate danger to the child. And the neighbors were like, are you kidding me?
Well, the other thing that became obvious is that they were being offered help.
Yes.
You had gone with someone who helps people who are experiencing homelessness, and they were offering help, immediate
not just help, but their own bedroom within a supportive environment, their own bathroom for the mom and the child, and they could get that help right now. And they declined. The father got very upset about the concept, so it didn't happen.
Yes.
But it's Christmas week, and this is a time of renewal. And the great news is neighbors tell me that the tent now sits empty, that there is no one inside, and they have been told that the child is getting medical care.
Oh,
my understanding from the story was at least a few weeks ago, the child had green mucus, had a raspy cough, sounded very sick, which is not, these are not the conditions you want to be outdoors in. So what neighbors believe is that the child is getting medical care, and there is some sort of intervention underway as well.
Do we know what agency is intervening? Or is it state or city?
If I were to guess, it would probably be CPS, but it really, that was purely an educated guess there.
Okay. And I'm hoping they get that on good word and not just, that we've left the tent, so now the problem's gone because it's not visible.
Right.
Because that was such an alarming story.
Neighbors have been reaching out, and I'm comfortable in saying that at least from the type of people they're hearing from, this has left me at least feeling a sense of hope in what had been a really dark situation.
And what about the law itself, finding out that the law has some unintended consequences? I know that you have heard from some lawmakers as well.
Yeah, so I think this is a bipartisan issue. We're hearing from Democratic and Republican lawmakers who are saying, hang on, there were so many good intentions with this law when it was passed in 2021. It was basically almost unanimous in both the House and Senate when it passed. So a lot of good intentions, but you know what the road to good intentions is paved with.
Yes.
So what lawmakers last session tried to get some fixes in place. There wasn't as much of a sense of urgency. So we spoke last week with Republican Representative Travis Couture, who says he's going to be putting forward in this 2026 legislative session, again, some proposed fixes, and he is wanting to do this on a bipartisan basis. So TBD, but the hope is there. And the hope, Ursula, is not just that this boy, this 9 or 10-year-old, is getting the help, but also mom. Mom is somebody who really needs help.
I mean, dad needs help too.
Dad needs help. Maybe he will also see.
Is dad the pimp in this situation? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I
don't understand why he would refuse.
I'm unclear on this. There were some conflicting stories.
I mean, one of the things is there's drug addiction involved, and a lot of times people refuse the help because they're not ready to give up the drug.
And it is so insidious what happens with that. I know Dad had a long criminal history. It's not very trusting of authority figures. So it's a very complicated, sad story, but I want to walk away with this, at least this morning, that there is a sense of hope.
Absolutely. And I want to thank you again. I've worked here for a very long time, and I told you to your face, but I want to tell everybody who's listening right now, that was some of the best reporting I've ever heard on KIRO Radio, and you may have helped save that boy's life.
Oh, I'm so hopeful. That was the
absolutely.
The bottom line
and as Robin Puyallup says, God bless the person that brought this to your attention. Ty from the 808 also says, Charlie, bringing this boy's story to light may have saved his life. God bless you.
Thank you.
Really, thank you. That is a very positive update. Hey, we want to move on because Sully is here too. Chris Sullivan is here. I don't have your special music, but
Great.
I know.
Merry Christmas.
But you are our conduit. You are a conduit. And you have, so you did the good, the bad, and now the ugly when it comes to transportation. And I heard you this morning, and I am going to ask you, why did you end with the ugly?
Because that's the name of the movie. It's not the ugly bad and it's not the ugly bad and good. That would be an entirely different movie.
Okay.
But now, considering the timing, 2 days before Christmas, we're going with the ugly. And one of the big uglies, which a couple people had forgotten about. And so I'm not exactly sure why. But the month of hell. Who remembers the month of hell?
Oh, that was during my birthday month, wasn't it?
Yes, your birthday. Yeah, our
August?
birthday month in
Yes.
August.
Oh, you and I have the same birthday.
Mine wasn't as special as yours, I'm going to say. But yeah, when we had 32 days of lane closures across the Ship Canal Bridge in the northbound direction, that was disastrous for our region. And what it really did is it highlighted how many people use the southbound express lanes. Because every day, even though the direction northbound, where the construction wasn't bad, it was getting in from the south, creating hour-long delays from like Edmonds into downtown. It was like that every day. And so that definitely is at the top of my ugly list.
Chris, on that note, because it was like, I felt like I could deal with the month. And the end was in sight. It was only 4 weeks. But then I knew there's like the even larger hammer of a year-long fix where it's going to be the same situation after the World Cup.
Yeah, and that's
pretty much as soon as they clean up the tents.
No, next month.
They're starting next what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're going to have 8 months of this in 2 4-month chunks, starting basically the end of next month, going to right up to the World Cup. Going to take a couple weeks off.
Still winter time.
Right. Well, they can still close down lanes in winter to do what they need to do. And so, yeah, this basically is going to start as near as I can do. Well, maybe February-ish. All I know is they're 2 4-month chunks, and they're taking the summer off for
that's
for
right.
World
They
Cup.
have to take it off. That's
Correct.
right. Of course.
So, so again, and that's going to be 2 lanes closed in the northbound direction, basically 8 months out of next year, which means basically every day coming in from Snohomish County, Chef, I know where you live, we do too, is going to be with this because the express lanes are not going to be open. Followed by 2027, when we're going to have 8 straight months of this going in the southbound direction. So the next 2 years are going to be very difficult. And if you remember with Payne, what it was like in July and August, that's our life for the next 2 years.
Okay, you can't emphasize that enough.
No, I know. I keep telling people are like, what are you talking about? Like, no, this is the real deal.
We need to, when that starts again, we need to post the Chris Sullivan permission slip on My Northwest, I think, that says, Dear boss, the undersigned is excluded from commuting to work today and for the next 4 months to not only help your company, but all the fine souls that don't have the choice but to go to work.
And again, this is going to put people in your neighborhood, too.
Yes, it is. So, but I want to ask, why does it have to be this way? Why do we?
Well, you could have the Ship Canal Bridge fall into the water.
Okay,
that would be great. Probably don't want that.
We don't want that. But it just feels like there's no way to phase it in. There's no.
It's so hard because that's the biggest, that's our lifeline in this region. And you drive it every day when you're not coming up.
It is bad.
It's terrible.
It is bad. I mean, the other day I was like, oh my! It's like rattling my fillings.
It's years and years of neglected maintenance.
Yes.
And choices we've made in Olympia to not spend money over the years, same kind of things that led to the closure of the Fairfax Bridge over the Carbon River that we talked about in the bad. So that this is, we're now paying the piper.
Okay, let's do some of the other ugly.
Okay, who remembers gas prices? They're the lowest they've been in years, right? Hooray!
Not here.
Yeah, $2.86 national average. Today, our average is $3.94 and $4.30 in Seattle.
Which the $3.94 when it got below $4 again, I was actually going. Oh,
I know you felt like isn't this amazing?
Really good.
But you're still $1 more than the rest of the nation. So what's behind that? Obviously, we had a 6 cents increase in the gas tax in July, and then of course the Climate Commitment Act has added 40 to 50 cents, 40 to 50 pennies. As Governor Inslee would say, in a horrible lie to everyone that he knew. And what's so frustrating and maddening about the Climate Commitment Act is that it really isn't doing anything for the climate. A study earlier this year said 70% of the money that's been spent so far, $1.5 billion, is going to administrative work, staffing, and planning.
That is just complete BS.
They've built some charging stations. There are plenty of projects in the works, but
a couple buses.
And there's no real way.
We talked about this yesterday. I just got to say, because Chef is someone who is self-proclaimed
I'm very liberal.
ultra-liberal. And the Climate Commitment Act, it's like if you lose someone like Chef, you've lost.
Well, and the
plot.
thing about it is there's no way to judge what the successes are in terms of, because our climate extends past the border to British Columbia, Oregon, and Idaho, right? So, and the thing is, they've been promising stats for 2 years now. We're not going to get our first look at stats of what they think this is doing until next year, 5 years. So there's zero accountability at all.
Did you see what they're doing in Oregon?
Yeah.
Basically, that could go by the wayside.
Yeah,
and
the Democrats are going to repeal their own gas tax.
Yeah.
It's like maybe that can happen here.
And because voters codified it last year when, with that rather interesting ballot title. But again, we can argue about that. But the thing, it's raised $4 billion so far. And when I ask lawmakers like Marco Lias, the head of the Transportation Committee in Olympia's, or I asked Travis Couture last week on the Republican side, like, hey, we've got $2 billion sitting in there. Can we use some of that for emergency repairs from the flooding? Can we use that money to do something really quickly to help us? That money's sitting there. And I was like, well, we got to, like, it's maddening because not only is there no accountability, not only are they robbing the lowest among us because people can't afford new cars pay the most in gas prices because they have less fuel efficient cars. It's hurting the poor more than anything else.
That's true.
And what it does is make a bunch of rich people in Seattle feel good. But does
so
nothing.
far mostly performative.
I wouldn't have a problem. I wouldn't have as much of a problem with this if they were using the money to mitigate future impacts. Like if we're building up our levees, right? If we are making sure that urban interface wildfires are less of a risk so we don't see whole neighborhoods and cities go up. Great.
Some forest management would be fabulous.
Yeah,
but that's
clearing
not
up
happening.
brush and doing things like that. Well, that would make sense, Chef.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Well, if Washington State produces, 0.3% of the world's carbon, that's obviously a made-up number, but such an infinitesimally small percentage, why are we paying so much to do so little?
Because it was a pet project.
It's Governor Inslee's I want to feel good and sound important at Davos when I fly my jet there. Seriously. Well, sorry, I'm sorry. I'm channeling Dory. God bless you. I miss you, brother. But which leads me to our next ugly.
Okay, yes. Sound transit.
Dory's favorite, sound transit. Sorry, Dory has taken me over right now.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, they opened some projects this year. That was part of the good. They've opened some light rail lines down to Federal Way, out to Redmond. Certainly, some positive things. They're getting close on the lake.
Yes,
they say by May 31st.
I like sound.
It's positive.
Light rail. It's just too expensive.
The problem is nobody rides it overall. 1% of commuters, and what was promised under ST3 in 2016, $54 billion worth of projects could end up costing $185 billion. People voted on $54 billion, not $185. Sound Transit itself says it's $30 billion over, just in a shortfall today from projects that it can't do. We've more than doubled in cost trying to get to West Seattle, more than doubled in cost trying to get to Ballard. Is now the time to be like, okay, let's improve bus service and not try to cut up downtown and dig a tunnel under Queen Anne and get over to Ballard or do whatever we're going to. Is it time to go, okay, let's cut bait? Okay,
Chris,
we've done what we can. I know we didn't. We promised the voters X, but we just can't afford it.
$185 billion is 5 years. 5 years of the total state budget. So everything that we spend money on in Washington State for 5 years.
Yeah. At some point, when my dollars and cents change at my house, maybe that 87-inch television I can't afford anymore, and maybe I just have to stick with the 54 I have. Mm-hmm. But that's not the way Sound Transit works.
But you promised your wife you'd get the 87. She voted for it.
Yeah, but would she rather us go into debt and go to the poorhouse at some point? But again, it's really easy to spend other people's money. So
now we have a very fiscally responsible person at the head of Sound Transit, right?
Who are you, to Dow?
I was not expecting that from you.
Wow. Were you just feeding me red meat right now?
I was.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, we're out of
You mean
time.
a person who's in charge of basically where we are today by being one of the board members who appointed himself
We're
as
still
CEO.
planning to have Dow Constantine join us on the Gee and Ursula Show because we need to ask these questions.
Yeah. So it's been ugly as our dollars and cents. But yeah, get ready for the month of hell. That's going to be the year of hell next year and following the same. So Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thanks for brightening our day.
Here's the good news. You are going to be here again in 2026 to help smooth things out for everybody.
Completely.
Yes.
So it's what I'm going to do. Matter of fact, I'll be here tomorrow morning to help you guys get to the mall on time.
There you go. I went to Target yesterday.
I will not be going to the
It
mall.
was full.
Yeah, I'm staying far away, but I'll be here tomorrow morning to get you through it.
Sully,
Merry
thank
Christmas,
you.
everybody.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Love you guys.
Love you too. Okay, still ahead. Who finishes first in life? Is this something that late bloomers can finally cheer about? We'll have more of that next on the Gee and Ursula Show.
Hey, we just want to wish you guys a very happy holidays, Merry Christmas, however you guys are celebrating with your families. You excited, Spike?
I'm very excited. From us here at the Jake and Spike Show and Laura, it's been a wonderful year getting to know you, the audience, and having you get to know us. We've got some great things behind us, but even more in front of us for 2026. I can't wait.
Right now, we're going to go home and spend some time with our families. I'm going to be in a house with a lot of loud kids. How are we going to celebrate? Have a wonderful Merry Christmas. I hope you have a great time with your families and that Santa brings you everything you want.
And a Happy New Year to all.
Attention homeowners, upgrade your home's comfort and save big. For a limited time, save up to 75% on scratch and dent and overstock equipment exclusively at Home Comfort Alliance. Over $3 million worth, all up to 50% off, including high-efficiency, dependable heat pumps, furnaces, and air conditioners from top manufacturers like Lennox, all with full factory and installation warranties. Up to 50% off for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Call Home Comfort Alliance or visit homecomfortalliance.com.
A special message from Hartley and Wilcox Family Farms.
This time of year, as we enjoy family, I think about how life on the farm must have been over 100 years ago. One thing that remains constant is our love of family, the animals, and the land. So as your family gathers, we hope you feel good about cooking and baking with fresh, local Wilcox eggs, just like we've done for the past 100 years. From our family to yours, happy holidays. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Our Santa Loves a Smart Top event is here. Treat yourself to the best present of all, a hot tub from Olympic. Save up to $4,800 on your new tub with an amazing smart top for free. Ends Christmas Eve. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Guys, if you're worn down, putting on weight, dealing with low T symptoms, or ED, something's off. Ignoring symptoms doesn't fix the real issue. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels. A $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. The key areas that reveal what's driving low T, ED, and more. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. This gives you a clear answer on what's off and the steps to improve it. Over 120,000 patients have trusted Revive since 2011 because the results are real. Claim your free full diagnostic panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and the results can last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. Using your own natural hair, Advanced Hair can restore your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning. All backed by Advanced Hair's guarantee. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Breast cancer is a tough battle for anyone to fight. But when you can't work, care for your kids, or even put food on the table, that diagnosis can be devastating. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to support Northwest Hope and Healing. Our mission is to provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare, so patients can focus on healing. For more than 25 years, Northwest Hope and Healing has distributed over $3 million to thousands of local cancer patients, and you can help make a difference in our community. Join us on Saturday, January 31st, for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of fine wine, gourmet cuisine, and inspiration at Mary Hill Winery in the heart of Woodinville wine country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support on January 31st. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
The holidays are one of the deadliest times of year for Washington drivers. There's a sharp increase in DUI crashes throughout Washington. Be responsible behind the wheel or call for a ride. Brought to you by Davis Law Group.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
It's been fantastic. There's always going to be some sort of chaos, but you just got to have patience.
Advice from a passenger on what is expected to be the busiest day of the end-of-year holiday travel season. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha is talking to people at SeaTac Airport.
Where are you traveling to?
The East Coast.
Okay. How do you cope on a day like this when you're trying to get through with all these people?
Just plan to be early, pack things ahead of time, leave a little bit early.
Yeah. And you drove from Everett?
Yeah, we drove from Everett.
So how was that?
Traffic was pretty light. I was pretty surprised. I think most people are taking the week off, and so it took us like 40 minutes to get down to SeaTac.
And what do you advise to people trying to get here and then trying to get through here?
Just plan to be here early.
Nurses at Seattle Children's Hospital have voted to authorize a strike. Pay is among the issues.
To say that they compensate us appropriately is deceptive.
The hospital tells KIRO 7 TV it is dealing with significant federal and state cuts in taxes. Nurses do have to give 10 days notice before they actually walk off the job. A Pakistani native and U.S. Army veteran who was taken into ICE custody at a citizenship interview in Tukwila is being released. That's according to the Muslim advocacy group CARE. CARE says a federal judge ordered that Mohammed Zahid Chowdhury be set free from the ICE facility in Tacoma, where he's been held since August 21st. The Department of Homeland Security has referred to Chowdhury as an illegal criminal alien. Fear of ICE raids has some faith leaders across the country canceling their Christmas services. Archbishop Thomas Wensky is asking for raids to be suspended during the holiday.
Let's get a pause. At least, don't be the Grinch that stole Christmas.
The White House signaled there will be no pause. The U.S. economy was better than expected for the third quarter. The gross domestic product increased 4.3% from July through September. CBS's Javier David.
The data tells us the consumers are still opening their wallets, but they're really not happy about it. And a big part of the reason why is the affordability question.
The Consumer Confidence Index fell this month with worries over inflation and President Trump's tariffs. On Wall Street, the Dow is up, though, 155 points. NASDAQ ahead about 100. KIRO News Radio traffic, no major blocking issues. Checking your passes, Snoqualmie Pass, bare and wet, no restrictions. The same for Blewett Pass. White Pass, slush and snow, traction tires advised, and no oversized vehicles. All lanes of northbound State Route 167 are back open this morning in Pacific. Repairs after a bridge strike have wrapped up ahead of schedule. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. cloudy today with highs in the mid-40s. It is 37 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is out today, but Chef is in. Your kids are in the thick of it right now, but I remember when my kids were younger, especially before they were even toddlers, it seemed like every parent was comparing milestones and bragging about, hey, is that still a thing?
I don't know. I think the Baby Einstein series, that started about the time that your boys were toddlers, right?
Baby Einstein was big, and there was just so much. And it was almost as if, and not every parent, but there were a lot of parents, and I'll just say a lot of parents in our circles, and we did have kids in private school, so I will say that. But where it would seem like from a very young age, you were already eyeballing which college they were going to go to or trying to increase the chances of, so it was, you laugh, but this is a serious thing where it was like, okay, we've got to have them in violin, mastering violin by the age of 6, or they should be winning chess tournaments, or all these things with the eventual goal of what great school are they going to go to. Now let's, now they're in middle school and let's scout what teams they could potentially play for in college, et cetera,
what kind of crippling anxiety disorder can we establish at an early age?
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
But there is a new study published in Science that looked at tens of thousands of high achievers, Nobel laureates, elite athletes, top musicians, and there was something that was trending that was actually very reassuring. If you have someone who might be a late bloomer, let's say. So the people who ultimately reach the very top are not usually the childhood prodigies, but they are the kids who ended up trying a lot of things, mastering them slowly, or maybe just not even, but not specializing early.
Yeah.
And I do remember, Jeff, when I did a whole bunch of different series on kids and athletics and I talked to some folks at Seattle Children's Hospital about specializing in sports. And this is when my kids were in the thick of their sports. And they said, that one of the unfortunate things that they see when kids specialize too young is these repeat injuries.
Yeah.
And these injuries that end up making them, if it's not the physical injury, it's kind of like the mental, the anxieties that go along with that much pressure early on. But these researchers found that early, single-minded focus, putting all eggs in one basket, is often linked to burnout, injuries, or plateauing. But with the late bloomers, they say they surge later, and after years of exploring different interests and building broader skills, they're just happier for it.
That makes a lot of sense. That does make a lot of sense. I really struggle because especially talking to you and Angela, as soon as the college conversations come up, it is, you're very focused on what kind of track are we going to get them on? How do they get into the best school? And I feel silly sometimes, but I want my kids to have a mediocre life. I want them to be able to explore what they want to explore, do what they want to do, but the goal doesn't... What do you mean by
mediocre life?
Mediocre?
Because I just side-eyed you for a second, and I realized, wow, because that hit me in a way that I'm like, why would you ever want your kid to have a mediocre life?
Often the most successful people are not the happiest. A lot of the people that have the most success have areas of their life in which they're incredibly deficient. For example, the reason I quit cooking, I could have continued on the Michelin track, and I think I could have done very well. Mm-hmm. At the same time, I didn't know anyone in the restaurant industry who I saw as a successful husband, as a successful father, as someone who had any interest outside of this one single-minded focus to be the best. And I think that there's so much pressure on kids to be high achievers, instead of learning what makes them interested, what makes them engaged. It doesn't have to be about having fun.
Yes.
But how do you cultivate interests in your kid as opposed to honing a resume for them?
Okay, so that makes more sense. And I guess maybe the word mediocre.
Well, mediocre, like some of the most amazing people in the world that I know externally, someone might say, "Oh, that's an average person."
Yeah.
But there are amazing moms and aunts and dads who go to work every day. They don't have an exciting job. They don't make a ton of money, but they build a family. They're a part of their community, and they're better for it, I think, than a lot of people who are constantly seeking.
I think you've nailed it. And I hope if there are parents with kids of the age where you are putting a lot of pressure on yourself as a parent and you're putting a lot of pressure on your kids to find that one thing you're passionate about, because everything that you've read in all the books about how to get into that elite college, and I say this through experience because I had two very different experiences with our two sons. And one son was your typical overachiever.
Yeah.
I didn't have to push him. We didn't have to push him. He pushed himself. But even he would say, yeah, there were a lot of things that were very positive out of coming out of a quote unquote elite college. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, he would also tell you that he thinks that he might choose a different route for his own kids.
Sure. And that makes sense to me. I think what is getting more acute, though, is the anxiety that even if I do my best, even if I get them an incredible education, I create this well-rounded, intelligent, emotionally aware child, that they still won't be able to make it. That they're still not going to be able to find some kind of career that allows them to afford a home, to pay for the college of their kids. And so I think that anxiety is just, it's getting worse in parents.
That's funny that you mentioned that, because I was just at an event yesterday where there were some people in their 20s and actually early 30s who were talking about, it's so hard right now. And we hear that when we talk to Nick and to you to some extent, although you're aging out of that bracket. But, people who are just coming into their own, I have lamented that I've met more and more young women who are saying, I just don't want to have kids. They're just abandoning that idea altogether for a number of different reasons, not just because financially it may be out of reach, but it's just that's no longer the ideal.
Yeah.
And you're smiling, but you know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of things have changed. So I think this research, though, showing that late bloomers, you don't have to put all that pressure. And what is the definition of success anyway?
I mean, I think it's being a successful part of your community, giving back. And if you do have kids, like building their future, the external markers of success, I don't think those count very much at the end of the day. You don't get to take accolades with you to your grave.
Yeah.
You are remembered, however, by the people that you showed the most love to.
This is so true. And that's that old adage, money cannot buy you happiness. Mm-hmm. If your idea of success is only predicated on how much money you have in your bank account,
it'll never be enough.
It'll never be enough.
You'll find a lack of fulfillment eventually in life.
Yeah.
It's more, the wealth is about the people that you know and the relationships you maintain, as well as your mental health and how you handle stress.
Yes.
If you're, well at ease. Your health is your wealth.
And like I tell someone I love very, very much, no amount of money is worth your mental health. Absolutely not.
Exactly.
Okay, still ahead, we do our scenarios. That's coming up next on the Gee and Ursula Show.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas, everyone. It's John Curley from KIRO Radio's John Curley Show. Remember, the greatest present you can give is yourself. Your presence is the greatest present. Besides, it's really hard to re-gift your Uncle Bob. It makes a lot of noise in the box. From all of us here at KIRO Radio and the John Curley Show, have yourself a Merry Christmas and, of course, a Happy New Year.
From KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
I've said it before, I am a repeat customer at Carter Subaru for a reason. You know, I drive a Subaru Outback. We bought it in 2016 at Carter Subaru. It has been perfect for our family. It's safe, it's comfortable, and it's built for real life here in the Pacific Northwest. Now, Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership. They are family-owned, and they are rooted in this community, and that is so important. They don't just sell cars. They show up for the people who live in this community. Right now, you can get the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek with 1.9% financing for 72 months on approved credit. But this is the perfect time to get it because it's the Subaru Share the Love event. And for every new Subaru purchase, Subaru is going to donate $250 to one of 6 charities, including our hometown favorite, Treehouse. So yes, you're going to get a great car, but you're also giving back right here at home. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or start online at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 12/31/25.
So Pure Talk just had their best year ever and asked me if I'd like to thank their customers on their behalf for being so awesome. I said sure. It's important to say thanks, especially this time of year, which is why, as one of their many satisfied customers, I should probably thank Pure Talk first for keeping their customer service in this country and for providing hundreds of American jobs. I appreciate that. I also appreciate their Roundup program, which makes it easy to support America's Warrior Partnership and join the fight against veteran suicide. And I love that Pure Talk donated 1,000 hand-sewn Made in America flags to veterans around Independence Day. And of course, I really appreciate their generous support of my own foundation, MicroWorks, and their commitment to help us train the next generation of skilled workers. Having said all that, it's now my pleasure, on behalf of everyone at Pure Talk, to thank you sincerely for choosing to do business with an American wireless company that actually stands for something. And one more thing. Merry Christmas.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who will give it to you straight. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through January 4th, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Television sales on Black Friday set new records as millions of Americans snapped up the hot deals. But a lot of people were out of town or too busy to take advantage of the special pricing. So, how about a redo? Right now, you've got a second chance to save big on many of the top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs. Where? At Video Only, where the smart shoppers go. So, don't miss out. Check out Video Only now, or
you'll be sorry.
Ready to deck the holidays? Win a brand new free deck, courtesy of one of the most trusted exterior companies in the Pacific Northwest, State Roofing and Exteriors. Don't miss out. Enter now at mynorthwest.com/win. That's mynorthwest.com/win.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. It checks testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Plus, qualified patients get up to 25% off select treatments now through year end. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
It is 10:48, and you are listening to the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee is out today. Chef is in. Coming up in the 11 o'clock hour, I want to bring up the story about this UW professor. And Chef, we need to talk about this because I think we're going to get a great debate going on. He is fighting. He could take this case all the way to the Supreme Court, and this had to do with land proclamation.
Yes, it does.
Right. It's and he made a parody of it. Again, UW professor.
And I'm rooting for him to win.
And so we will talk about that coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. Curious where I'm going to land. I mean, I know already, but maybe you're curious. But in any case, right now it is time for us to do scenarios.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Hey, all. I have a dilemma with my parents. They love to re-gift aggressively. Every year, they proudly give us things that we gave them or someone else gave them the year before. Once my mom handed me back a candle I had handmade, still burned halfway down. This year, they've announced a new rule. No store-bought gifts, only meaningful items from your home. My kids are horrified. My spouse is furious. But my parents insist it's about connection, not consumerism. But it feels less like mindfulness and more like a purge with wrapping paper. Should we refuse to participate in that, or is that selfish? What say you?
Okay. First of all, how important is it to get that gift? I might say, like, not at the holiday gathering, but afterward, just say, hey, do you guys realize, and kind of make it fun, do you realize that you gave me back a gift that I gave you? Because they might have really no clue, because I think there are some of us who end up having gift cabinets.
What?
That you have an assortment of gifts that, like, maybe it's a repeat. You receive something, it's a repeat of something you already have. Have you ever re-gifted? You're making it look like it's...
What is a gift cabinet?
Where I have some extras, some things that I may give at a future date.
So, like, if a plus one shows up at Christmas,
yes, exactly.
You can wrap it up for them and you give them a candle?
Well, there are a few candles in there.
Okay.
Okay, remember, if someone gives me a candle, I will never disparage that. Because I actually love them.
Okay.
And I know I have friends who actually love candles. Now, someone like you told me this morning that when you use a candle, you have to wipe off the dust.
Yeah, because I use them maybe once a year.
I know
and it's
that
got like an inch of dust.
And today I was giving away little things and was giving away chocolates, but I also threw in a couple of fragrances. Now, I didn't give you any fragrances because, like, in the 6 years I've known you, I've never known you to wear cologne, so I'm not going to give it. Georgia from Tacoma, I think, has a great idea. Just don't do the gifts at all.
Does that fly with the kids?
Well, if they're disappointed, does that fly with the kids? Yeah, they still probably enjoy, or just make it about the kids.
Like,
what would you do?
If the kid... Oh, my gosh. I would honestly probably bring presents over from Grandpa and Grandma that were actually from us. That's probably what I can do. Like, I don't know if... Do you ever remember being a kid and getting something from, like, a grandparent and you're just, like, it just crushed you? Like, clearly you don't care about me. I don't...
I can't remember one off the top of my head, but based on social media, there are a lot of people, a lot of adults suffering from that still today.
Yeah.
And by the way, right now on the text line, people are saying they also have gift cabinets. Yes, we have those.
Who is we? What age do you need to reach to get a gift cabinet?
You might ask Gabby. She may have one unbeknownst to you. She may have one.
I don't think so.
It's one of those things.
I know she has a drawer for cards, like full of random cards.
Yes, I have that too.
This is like the PhD of having the card drawer.
Yes, it's the other thing. Okay, tell me, See, again, I'm getting more and more text messages. It's also when you see something, you're like, man, this would make a great gift for someone. I'm going to get it. And I'll pull it, I'll buy it, and I'll hold it. And then it's like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect gift for this person. Yes.
Okay. I'm not that thoughtful, apparently.
No, it's not about being thoughtful. It's just being,
Is this a Gen X thing?
I don't know.
I don't know any millennials. Is there any millennials with gift cabinets?
Do you have, what's your strategy with the gifts?
Well, for me, I would say either way you're going to go with is fine with this one. Homemade, or if you want to go top of the charts. But personally, homemade is just fine because it levels the playing field. And this should be fine for everyone in this case. We just talked about how monetary value isn't the top of the charts, and no one should put too much weight on what they get aside from, I don't know, maybe their spouse or special person in their life. Make it homemade, doesn't matter. Have we forgot what we really need for the holidays in the words of Mariah? Sometimes sometimes the most repeated things are the messages forgotten the most. So keep the gifts close, but keep the people closer.
Sweeping statement. I think you can buy your grandchildren's love. I think it's entirely possible to be the favorite grandparent by showering them with gifts.
This is true. I think so too. Now the question is, should you? And again, how early?
From the child's perspective? Yes.
Well, exactly. But then you have to sustain that, and that's not fun. 206 texted in and said, gift cabinets are the bomb for kids' parties. This is correct. Todd in Burien says, not necessarily a cabinet, but I got a couple of extra things stored in my cupboard where if something comes up, I got something for you. Exactly. You know who else said that? Tita, who says, I have a gift cabinet. Great for kids and kids' parties when you don't want to run last minute to buy a gift for your third grader's friend. Yes, you're prepared. It saves you often.
Okay. So
I think this is a Gen X thing.
Next time I'm at Fred Meyer, I'll pick up a couple squirt guns and.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Even if
My
you
kids
want to
would
give,
find it though.
If you want to give your kids a little, hey, here's a reward for XYZ. You pull it out of your gift cabinet.
Okay. All right, life lessons.
The one thing you don't, Amy, 100% has a gift cabinet and a gift card drawer. Yes, but the one thing you don't want to do is give the gift back to someone who just gave it to you. That's not a bad.
What if it was a bad
move.
Candle?
Yeah.
And then the kid says, "This toy's from 2004."
Exactly. Okay, still ahead, we will be doing Agree to Disagree coming up at 11:30, and we're also going to talk about the Little Drummer Boy Challenge. Hey, Nick, did we find that song?
I wasn't able to find it, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll try to drum it up, but we'll have more of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up next.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Adventure smarter with the 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid, available now at Carter Subaru, Seattle's only Subaru dealership. Get all-wheel drive with financing from just 3.9%, and during the Share the Love event, Subaru donates $250 for every new Subaru to one of 6 charities, including hometown favorite Treehouse. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 12/31/2023. $125. Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la. As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
Trainer Games on Prime Video January 8th. Watch the trailer on trainergames.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by CBS Health.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The U.S. economy grew at a surprisingly strong rate in the third quarter. Economist Gus Fauché.
This is the strongest growth that we've seen in GDP in a couple of years. We saw a good gain in consumer spending. Exports were up.
At the same time, consumers were feeling less confident. The Conference Board says its Consumer Confidence Index was at its lowest point since President Trump's tariff rollout in April. Jim Krasula reports retailers are anxiously awaiting what the holiday shopping season brings.
Retail industry analysts say people are spending this holiday season, but they're being more careful and prudent with that spending. Many, like Amanda Maxwell, are cutting back, though.
Groceries are more expensive. You kind of have to cut back on things that you normally would do, like eating out.
Elizabeth Renter is with NerdWallet.
We are seeing debt levels grow. So even though people are spending, there is some indication that they're using debt to do that.
Running for office last year, President Donald Trump vowed to make things more affordable. Now he calls affordability, quote, a Democratic hoax. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
The Justice Department released 11,000 more Jeffrey Epstein documents overnight. Many of them mention President Trump. Olivia Rinaldi reports.
The Justice Department released a statement saying some of the documents in Tuesday's release contain untrue and sensationalist claims made against President Trump that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. By law, the DOJ had a Friday deadline to make public all of its Epstein files, but so far has done just a partial release, claiming it needs more time to protect sensitive victim information.
The weather could impact holiday travel in the coming hours. CBS's Chris Van Cleve at LAX.
There's rain, significant amounts of rain in parts of California. That's going to move into Southern California, where we are here tonight. So certainly where you're going and when you're leaving, you want to check that forecast. If you're flying, this is a pretty good time in that it's kind of a lull. It'll be busy, but not the peak of the peak around Christmas and New Year's.
The FDA has approved a pill version of the weight loss drug Wegovy, making it the first daily oral medication to treat obesity. Dr. John LaPook on the research behind it.
In a New England Journal of Medicine study, all trial participants received counseling on diet and exercise. After about 15 months, patients participants lost on average 13.6% of their body weight on medication compared to 2.2% on placebo.
The pills should be available in just a few weeks. On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are higher for the fourth day in a row. The Dow up 115. This is CBS News.
Through trusted relationships and national reach, CVS Health is uniquely positioned to simplify care. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
Scammers taking advantage of a trooper's death in the line of duty. But first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. No major blocking issues. Checking your mountain passes. Snoqualmie Pass, bare and wet, no restrictions. Blewett Pass, also bare and wet, no restrictions. White Pass, slush and snow. Traction tires are advised. No oversized vehicles there. All lanes of northbound State Route 167 are back open this morning in Pacific. Repairs after a bridge strike have wrapped up ahead of schedule. And your travel times are looking excellent. Everett to Seattle, 24 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 21. Renton to Bellevue, 12. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The Puget Sound region could get slammed with a Christmas Eve windstorm, packing gusts of 50 to 60 miles an hour. Meteorologist Scott Sistek with the Emerald City Weather blog points out this would come on top of storms that have soaked the ground around trees.
If this pans out, it's going to be a pretty decent storm, and there'll be some pretty decent impacts, and I expect there would be quite a few power outages.
Now, he stresses not all forecast models are predicting high winds, but you want to keep your flashlight handy just in case. Highway 2 remains closed between Skycomish and Leavenworth due to storm damage. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports the timing is tough for small businesses.
Leavenworth business owners say they count on Christmas tourists to get through the slow months, saying they're now worried about barely breaking even.
We have thousands and thousands of visitors normally this time of year.
They tell us the weekends are still busy, but they need steady business on weekdays too.
This lack of traffic coming into town is going to impact many of the small businesses in town, including ours.
With Route 2 closed indefinitely, tourism has slowed to a trickle.
You can get to Leavenworth through Blewett Pass. The owner of a Maple Valley farm blames poor levee maintenance along the Cedar River for the flooding that is wiping out the road to his property. Clint Williford tells KIRO 7 TV.
I'm going to lose access into my property that could have been prevented.
King County says it does plan to repair 2 levees near Williford's property, but adds the barriers were meant to protect homes, not access roads. Crooks are trying to take advantage of the death of Trooper Tara Marissa Guting, who was hit by cars while responding to a crash in Tacoma Friday. The executive director of the Washington State Patrol Memorial Foundation, Macon King, says scammers are trying to mimic the organization's Venmo account.
And they're actually now using our logo, and one of the accounts has Trooper Gooding's face on it.
She says if you want to donate to the Memorial Foundation, you should reach out directly to that group. An investigation is underway after a woman was found stabbed to death in the town of Milton Monday. Police say they got a report of an assault at an apartment near Milton Way and 24th Avenue Court. That's where they arrested a woman in her 30s. It's not clear what the relationship was between the victim and the suspect. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with highs in the mid-40s. It's 40 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Welcome, and happy Christmas Eve. I hope you're all doing well right now. It's been a very, very busy morning. Chef, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I just saw you looking at the show sheet, though, and you had a look of distaste.
Yes, because I'm looking at our Agree to Disagree segment, and I don't remember that we were going to talk about this. But the question is, yes, no. So the question is, does the right to roam trump property rights? And the reason we're asking this question in Agree to Disagree is that there is a homeowner who is suing because a neighbor's cat kept pooping in his garden.
It's a serious issue.
Apparently.
This ain't no fertilizer.
No, that Kitty Roca.
This is literally a get off my lawn sort of situation. So we will have that and more coming up in Agree to Disagree. As always, we invite you to join us on our text line. And I would love it if you have something that you are feeling especially happy about this holiday season. Share that with us because I would love to share it at the end of our show. Text us at 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories at 11
on the Gee and Ursula Show.
Okay, so I don't know if you've seen this story, but there's a University of Washington professor who now, after a court ruling, cannot be warned, investigated, or quietly sidelined just for offending students, at least not when he's speaking on a public issue. That is a message now from a federal appeals court after a long-running fight over a single paragraph in this professor's syllabus. This case centers on longtime computer science professor Stuart Regis, who wrote a parody land acknowledgement in a 2022 syllabus. And in it, he pushed back on UW's recommended language that recognizes Coast Salish tribes, and he argued the opposite. He claimed that indigenous peoples could rightfully claim almost none of the land under the university. And as you can imagine, there were students who complained. Chef, the Allen School had to issue a public apology, and this particular professor faced more than a year of investigation, and he was warned not to repeat the statement. A divided Ninth Circuit Court ruled that warning alone violated his First Amendment rights. And the court said student discomfort does not give a public university the right to retaliate against a professor's speech on matters of public concern. So my question for all of you listening right now, as you're getting ready to go shopping or whatever it is that you're doing, and the question for you, Chef, is do you agree with this ruling or do you stand by the lower court ruling? Should the university appeal?
Okay, I have two things on this. So first of all, I'm for free speech, even when it makes us uncomfortable. Second, this is an employer that he's dealing with. So I think that makes it a special circumstance, although it is a public employer, which I believe changes things slightly because your First Amendment rights extend to the government's ability to censor your speech or tell you what you can't say. I'm going to say the courts largely got it right. I would like to err on the side of allowing people to say what they want, even when it is offensive. Right now, is this guy a troll? Sure. Has he just decided to stick his thumb in the eye of people for whom this is a serious issue? Sure. Now, the right way to deal with that, I think, is if kids don't like it, don't take his course. And hopefully it's not a required course in that particular degree. But the thing is, you're going to encounter people in your professional life that you disagree with all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my question for you, though. If you are in agreement and alignment with what Chef said, where does it fall? Because oftentimes when we talk about free speech rights, a lot of people say you have a right to free speech, but that doesn't mean you're free of consequence. If the university decides, yeah, you could exercise your free speech, we're not stopping you from doing that, but you are employed by us and you are basically hacking off certain students and making certain students feel discriminated against, et cetera, et cetera. So where does that fall in? Where, the university in this right, in their mind says we have, or their argument is we have the right to decide what we want to do. And they didn't fire him, by the way.
No, they didn't.
Just basically said, stop doing
You're
that.
under investigation.
Yeah.
That's a good question. It seems like when donors are involved to public schools, free speech no longer matters. If you anchor a donor, then suddenly that's a problem. This guy has tenure, so if he was an adjunct, this would not even come up. There would be zero conversation about this whatsoever. What I would like, though, is consistency from the courts. Because if we are going to say that, hey, guess what? A college campus is a place where you should expect to hear and you want to hear conflicting ideas.
Right.
Then why is it that we have students who are losing their scholarships because they write an opinion on social media that is not not pro-killing Israelis, but simply pro-Palestinian. We have professors who have been suspended. We have coursework at Columbia, Harvard, and other universities that has been changed under threats of litigation from the Trump administration. There are students who cannot go to.
All these things that you're raising go against what you argued in this case.
No, I am arguing that, like, if this guy can say that, right? Okay, it's offensive, sure, but you should be allowed to express opinion freely on college campuses without the college having some threat of financial retribution or of you losing your scholarship. I mean, when you were in college, did you have any opinions that were different than you hold today?
Oh, I'm sure. Yes.
Like, I know I did.
Yes,
I wasn't in college, but at that age, that's the whole point of the experience.
Exactly. And exactly how your opinions evolved depending on your experiences.
Yes.
Or what new information you get. And I believe, so first of all, there was one judge who dissented and said that this disruption to Native students outweighed his free speech rights. So, and then remember, an earlier court actually ruled in favor of the university.
Yes.
So now the university has to weigh, are you going to take it to the Supreme Court? Are you going to appeal the decision? I mean, you take it to the Supreme Court, you're going to be spending even more money, more time, and it's a conservative leaning. I don't think you're going to win if you're the university.
I would guess not.
But, I mean, public universities do have a responsibility to protect students from harassment or discrimination. But the thing that's different in this case is he wasn't targeting individual students.
He was targeting a policy that he sees as being ludicrous.
Silly.
Why do we have to say this thing before every meeting and we have to include it in all of our syllabuses? Which I suppose I should ask you about, because a lot of us, when the land acknowledgement is stated, we will cringe, right? Or we'll just suffer through it. What do you think about it being a part of all the invocations, etc.?
Okay. And I want to say this in the most respectful way possible. And I need a drink of water, nothing related to this. But I think that the land acknowledgements are not having the effect or the impact, the positive impact that I think the people behind them intend.
Yes.
And I say that because I think it's largely performative. I think people aren't inspired to do more, or they feel like, well, I'm doing enough, or I'm doing this, or they're rolling their eyes, or whatever it is. And I'll just go back to the story that Heather did for us yesterday. I would rather have more emphasis and more support for Native Americans and Indigenous people. That's not just a land acknowledgement and, oh, I'm good now. Like, if it makes more people curious, that's great. If it makes people want to do more, but it just feels like it's being done just to look good.
I think I agree with that. When they first came out, some of them were a little bit inflammatory. Like, I recognize that, I'm on the stolen land of. That's not what they are today. The problem is, I don't think it makes most people more curious. I think it draws the inverse reaction.
That's what I fear.
Unfortunately, when white people are uncomfortable, they tune out. And they tune out of everything. So if you start with the land acknowledgement, whatever you have to say after that is suspect, I think. I would be fine getting rid of it.
Yeah.
I would love to hear Native opinions on it. But
yes, and the last time we brought it up, that we had Indigenous people texting in and saying, yeah, I think it's a bunch of garbage too. So I would love to hear more, because I'm just curious if anyone thinks it's still something that is effective, it's impactful, that it has motivated you to do anything different to help support the Indigenous community.
Let me ask you a question, though, because I'm trying to think about this a little bit deeper. Why does it make us uncomfortable?
Because, well, I think that there are a number of people. Why does it make me feel uncomfortable?
Sure.
Because I think there are better ways to help, like I said, the Indigenous community. And I think there are some people who are just looking at it like, oh, that's just being woke. And that's just, or, hey, I'm done my part, so I don't need to do any more because we're doing, like, what has it changed? What does it change?
I don't think it changes anything, but I think it does remind us of an uncomfortable truth that we have not fully reckoned with or even to a smidgen addressed in this country. And I think it makes me uncomfortable because I'm aware of that fact.
Yes.
And I'm aware that I see very little progress in that direction at the same time.
Motivated you to do anything different?
No. Can't say that it has.
Yeah, that's just it. And yesterday, and I'm pointing over to an empty chair.
Heather's empty chair.
When Heather was sharing her report on the tribe,
it's the Puyallup tribe and the Lushootseed language.
The Lushootseed language, exactly. And she was saying that they're opening it up so that people who are not Indigenous or can actually learn the language as well. I think that's wonderful. Support programs like that. Support programs where they can continue their storytelling.
Yeah.
And it doesn't die. You know, I would love that.
I think that would be fantastic, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Okay, when it comes to performing CPR, you have heard that there are certain songs that you're supposed to be pushing to the beat of if you are the person who's going to try to save that person's life, right? Okay, we're all moving at the same thing. Okay. The Bee Gees are no longer the only life-saving soundtrack in town because the American Heart Association has just updated its CPR playlist and has added this very Pacific Northwest option.
That's not doing it for me.
Even Flow by Pearl Jam?
Yeah. I thought this was a fake headline. This is the American Heart Association.
Like, what was wrong with Staying Alive?
I think everybody knows Staying Alive.
There's nothing wrong with Staying Alive.
It's so apropos.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, is what I'm saying.
Exactly. Well, wait a minute. Let's go back to the Even Flow by Pearl Jam. Is that even a beat? Even Flow.
It's a little slower.
It's slower.
It feels a little slower. So, you know, the life might not be in as good hands if you don't use the Bee Gees.
Well, it's supposed to be between, like, I think 125 and 120 beats per minute.
Okay.
I don't know. Part of the reason this, like, incensed me is if you're going to update the song and perhaps provide a more relevant example for future generations or younger generations, because, like, other examples are Uptown Funk, Jolene, you know, by
Jolene. Yeah.
Pearl Jam?
No, I'm going with this.
I have lived in Seattle for 42 years, and I am over Pearl Jam. I am over
I still
Nirvana.
love Pearl Jam.
I am over the Foo Fighters. Like, I've heard it my entire life. I'm done.
Okay, no. Those are fighting words. Jennifer and Graham says Pearl Jam did have the right beat, though, but it's just not as easily heard.
Yeah, you got the hi-hat going in there?
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay. Have you guys heard of the Little Drummer Boy Challenge? I think if anyone has listened to the show for a long time, you know that's my favorite Christmas song.
It's a banger.
It is. And apparently, you were asking me about this. The Little Drummer Boy Challenge is a popular internet game played during the holiday season, and it is a test of survival and situational awareness, similar to Whamageddon, but with a different musical target. So the idea is you have to go as long as possible in the month of December without hearing the song The Little Drummer Boy. Now, why would you want to do that? I mean, we talked about Mariah Carey's song that we
that one is so ubiquitous that it would be impossible, right? Little Drummer Boy is a little bit more esoteric, but also popular enough that conceivably, if you avoid Christmas music, you could make it through the holiday season and be the last little man standing.
And to be fair for the Little Drummer Boy, it is one of the many traditional Christmas songs,
Yes.
so I feel like it's a given that you hear all those. But when it comes to Mariah Carey or Wham or anyone like that, those are pop songs, and I think they have a certain position in the music category, and you can't just play it over and over again like Jingle Bells and all those ones.
That's so true. Okay, we only have 1 minute left, and maybe you're going to thank us that we only have 1 or 2 minutes left, because a few years ago, Nick, you and I and Aaron Mason and a few others put together our own version, trying to copy a certain group with Little Drummer Boy. So here it is. We're going to let you hear it for the rest of this segment, which is not going to be very long.
Come, they told me, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, a newborn king to see, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum. Our finest gifts we bring, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, to lay before the king, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, rum-pum-pum-pum, rum-pum-pum-pum. So to honor him, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, when we come. Little baby, ba-rum-pa-pum-pum, I am a poor boy too, ba-rum-pa-pum-pum. I have no gifts to bring, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, that's fit to give a king, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum. Shall I play for you, ba-rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum. Mary nodded, ba-rum-pa-pum-pum. The ox and lamb kept time, ba-rum-pum-pum-pum. I played my drum for him, ba-rum-pum-pum-pum. I played my best for him, ba-rum-pum-pum-pum, rum-pum-pum-pum, rum-pum-pum-pum. Then he smiled at me, ba-rum-pum-pum-pum, me and my drum. Newborn king to see, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, me and my drum, me and my drum, me and my drum, me and my drum, rum-pum-pum-pum.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com. CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why? I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake. Wait a minute. Wait. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, "Are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep." I'm like, "So you're going to wake me up?" Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night. So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep better, right? And I did. Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, it's not fair that you're sleeping. I know. But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up? Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning. So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy. You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced. Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today. I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
I'm here with my real estate guy, Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, the year's almost over. It's the holidays, but the spring is going to come fast.
That's right. There's not a lot of time left this year. But here's the thing. It takes a lot to get a home ready to sell if you truly want the maximum value for it. So I would encourage you, let's start the conversation now if you're planning to sell next year. We'll walk through my pre-inspection program. If there's any improvements that need to be made, I can help line up the contractors. And if needed, we have options to pay for it out of the proceeds from the sale of your home. The important thing is to have a game plan from repairs to staging, pricing strategy, and marketing. And we can help you get a jump start right now.
There's a reason I say if you want to sell for more, sell with Wes. So go to sellwithwes.com, find out the real value of your home with Wes's home value calculator, then give him a call, schedule an appointment. Sellwithwes.com. That's sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
We're making a difference, everybody. G. Scott here. Thanks to your generosity, more than $2.5 million has been donated to Nourishing Neighbors at Safeway, and those grocery cars have already helped families across Washington. But the need is growing. Rising costs and now massive flooding have displaced families from their homes. Please help. When you shop at Safeway, donate at checkout. Your gift provides grocery cars so families can shop with dignity. Learn more at nourishingneighbors.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Two 15-year-old Seattle boys are now charged after allegedly bringing loaded guns to Evergreen High School last week.
School officials were alerted that the student had a handgun in his backpack. A lockdown followed and King County deputies were called. 2 students were detained and 2 handguns with extended magazines were recovered. Casey McNerthney with the King County Prosecutor's Office says the cases would not have been possible without the student who came forward.
It shows that even other students are concerned when they see behavior like this.
Charges include illegal possession of a firearm. Both boys were placed on electronic home monitoring. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
And I'm grateful people are on the road and going to see family and on the move.
A traveler at SeaTac Airport there, which expects today to be its busiest travel day of the end of year holiday season. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha is there.
We've actually talked to a number of travelers who said they're taking off a little bit earlier this year and staying later because of the way the holidays are falling as far as the days of the week, with Thursday and then Friday off. So many people are going to be out until past this weekend. So we could see a busy day on Monday, this coming Monday as well. So the bottom line, if you need to get here early, definitely check your flights.
159,000 passengers are expected at SeaTac today, 154,000 on Friday. Nordstrom Rack is moving its downtown Seattle store. The off-price retailer tells the Puget Sound Business Journal it plans to leave Westlake Center and head 2 blocks east, where it will take over the Forever 21 space at 601 Pine Street. New numbers show the economy grew between July and September. The gross domestic product up 4.3%. CBS's Javier David.
We have a jobs market that's clearly weakening and consumers deeply unhappy, real affordability crisis, but the economy continues to expand, and that's because consumer spending comprises about 70% of overall U.S. economic activity.
Americans are spending more. Some of that is just due to increased prices. The Consumer Confidence Index, it fell to 89.1 this month with worries over inflation and President Trump's tariffs. That's close to April's reading when Trump first rolled out his taxes on imported goods. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 111 points, NASDAQ ahead 110. KIRO News Radio traffic, Snoqualmie Pass, bare and wet, no restrictions. The same for Blewett Pass, White Pass, slush and snow. Traction tires advised there, no oversized vehicles. And a reminder, all lanes of northbound State Route 167 are back open. In Pacific, repairs after a bridge strike have wrapped up ahead of schedule. Travel time still looking pretty good. Everett to Seattle 28, Federal Way to Seattle 31 minutes, Renton to Bellevue 15. Traffic brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. This holiday season, give the gift of Mariners baseball. Grab tickets at mariners.com/tickets. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with highs in the mid-40s. It's 40 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. During the break, I have just been laughing hysterically at your text messages. Okay, first of all, thank you for the kind words. People who were being very kind about our song.
Thanks for bearing with us through our campy little homemade song we made back in the day.
Yes, you know what? We didn't have much time. We didn't practice at all.
We only got like 1.5 days to do that.
Exactly. So it was one of those things where we did it under slight duress.
I think we did a decent job.
Yeah, Spike was on there. Lisa
forgot
Brooks
about
was
that.
on there.
Yes.
I know. So when I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, Aaron and of course Nick. But the funny thing is, B and Puyallup texted in and said, I would donate a kidney for a whale story right about now.
Oh, jeez. Nick's trolling us, too, coming in with the song. You either loved that or you wanted to claw your ears off.
I know. And then the number of people who texted said, well, I made it to December 23rd on the Little Drummer Boy Challenge. So sorry if I busted it for you. But anyway, let's do Agree to Disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Let's talk about a neighborhood feud over in Wales over a cat and what it's allowed to do. It's clawed its way all the way up to the UK's highest court after one homeowner accused his neighbor's cats of turning his garden into a no-go zone. So this is in Bedwas, Wales. He complained to the council, arguing that while cats may have the right to roam, they don't have the right to foul up someone else's flower beds or create what he called a statutory nuisance. The council waved him off, but a high court judge told the council, no, you need to address the real issue. Does your neighbor's cats crapping in your garden cross into a health hazard? So, Ursula, I got to say, do you have a legal right to demand your neighbor's cats stop pooping in your flower beds?
My question is, why do you have to take it to the court? Why can't you just work something out with the neighbor? Just flat out say, hey, I don't appreciate your cat pooping on my yard. Can you help me out with this? And if the answer is no, then, I I mean, I just think that there'd be some kind of way to work something out with the neighbor before taking it and taking it all the way to court. Although I have seen how some neighbors can just be awful to each other. Does your cat, I'm just trying to think, is there a way to corral? Yeah, you can, I guess, keep it as an indoor cat.
Make it a catio. The elaborate back decks that are screened
If I'm
in.
the judge, I would just say, work it out between the two of you.
Well, you can't work it out with the neighbor because you can't control a cat, right? You can either keep it indoors or contained somehow, or what are you going to do? You can't tell a cat what to do. I think it's kind of a legitimate issue. I think this guy has an infant on the way. If you are familiar with, have you heard of toxoplasmosis?
Ooh, yes.
So this is a brain parasite that a staggering number of people have. It's spread through cat feces.
Yeah.
From specifically outdoor cats. And if you're a gardener and you find poo all the time in your garden, the likelihood that you're either going to... Yeah, it's gross.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to take a stronger position here. 425 just texted in and said if you read the whole story, which I'll admit it right now, this is one of those agree to disagrees that G jokes around when I say I try to do some quick research, but this one I didn't. So it sounds like he did try to work it out with the neighbor, and the neighbor refused to control his cat. And if it becomes a situation where that cat is out of control, then set some precedent.
Should cats have a right to roam, period? I mean, because we have some neighborhood cats, not as many as we used to.
I mean, cats naturally roam around, right?
They do naturally roam around and decimate the wildlife, and are often, you know what, they need to be contained for the sake of their own safety.
Don't make me like cats any less than I already do. So now you're telling me that you don't think cats should be able to roam around?
I think generally people should keep them indoors. Yeah, I mean, if not for the wildlife, for their own safety. We have coyotes. Those things are like snacks. Study out of Phoenix found that 40% of the diet of urban coyotes was cats, at least in that area. And if you see all the missing kitty posters that are up, at least in my neighborhood, it's a big problem.
Julie B says, I think there's stuff you could put in your garden to make it so the cats wouldn't want to come in there, including a dog.
Or a coyote. All right, another UK story here that you're not prepped on. Boiling lobsters is going to be banned in the UK. So you may no longer throw them into the pot while they're still alive. That's considered cruel. The UK has found that they do have sentience, and therefore they must be dispatched with by a knife through the dome prior to going into the pot. Is that overkill?
They do have what?
Sentience.
Which is?
Self-awareness, the ability to feel pain, recognize external stimuli.
Okay, I've heard lobsters can cry, basically.
That's the sound of the air escaping the shell. They're not screaming. I promise.
Okay. I think that's just going too far. And I say that, not that I don't have sympathy for the lobsters, but eventually they're going to arrive on your plate.
Yes, they're food.
I know. And same with, and I know that there's a humane way to do it, but ultimately I have a hard time wrapping my brain around these animals that you are going to end up eating, whether it's beef, whether it's pork, whether it's chicken, and you want to make sure you do it as nicely as possible, but ultimately they end up on your plate.
Yeah, I'm wondering how far this extends, because I mean, if they believe that lobsters are sentient beings, then I mean, what about the crabs? Are those allowed to be thrown in the pot while still alive? I don't do that because I think they're better cleaned first. But what about the clams? What about consuming a live oyster? That seems kind of problematic to me, because it raises all kinds of questions about, hey, how do we treat the living beings that we consume as food, which is a natural part of human existence?
Mm-hmm.
And how are you going to enforce this?
Right.
Like if you catch like a food influencer.
Maybe it would be the health inspectors, their surprise visits.
They're watching all the lobster butchers.
I didn't know that seafood had emotions or feelings. I thought it was just mammals that really had those feelings of pain.
I don't feel like I was well prepared for either of these questions today on
Worked out better. It worked out better. I think, Nick, basically every living being has some sort of sense of pain in response, because we respond to stimuli that is harmful, that hurts us.
Yeah, and Imani says
universal.
we want happy food.
Yeah.
And that's true, because I do understand that if the animals are in distress, that the
increases the cortisol.
Exactly.
Right, and that makes the meat tougher.
And all of that kind of stuff. Yes. So,
in case you're planning lobster for dinner, you just take the chef's knife and you scrunk right through
I've
the dome
seen that
and then
before.
Upwards.
Quick and seamless.
Yep. That's how it's done.
and Jerry in the 206 is now putting this in the category of whale story.
You want some more music?
What? I think someone else
You
just
want more
texted
music?
in and said, "Could you give us a warning before you sing again?" No, I will warn you right now that there's no more singing.
Little Drummer
for
is the new whale. How about that?
for the rest of the year. How's that?
How about every time G gets bored with a topic, we just start playing that song instead,
Whale-
see what he likes
how
better?
About whale songs?
Oh my gosh.
That would be beautiful.
Do you think, Nick, it'd be possible to remix whale song, you capture the specific tones and actually create Little Drummer Boy with whale song?
Do we have to speak whale when we sing it next time?
I think we're done. Okay, we have your text messages and, of course, our words to live by coming up next.
Thank you to all of our great KIRO News Radio listeners
This is the moment.
for making the 37th year of Holiday Magic our biggest one yet.
It is a celebration that benefits Treehouse.
Thanks to your generosity and the important work of Treehouse, kids in foster care will have the holiday they wished for.
We ask you to give. You do. You always come through.
You can still donate. Just head to mynorthwest.com/holidaymagic.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who will give it to you straight. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through January 4th, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership and has the state's largest selection. Get the 2025 Crosstrek at 1.9% financing for 72 months. And during the Share the Love event, Subaru donates $250 for every new Subaru purchase to one of 6 charities, including hometown favorite Paws. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 12/31/25.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I mean, I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain and stem cells really worked for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Guys, leave weight gain, low T, and ED in 2025. For a limited time, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering free full diagnostic panels, a $400 value. Claim your free panel today. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. This holiday, treat yourself to the best present of all, a hot tub from Olympic. Through Christmas Eve, our Santa Loves a Smart Top event will save you up to $4,800 on your new tub and include an amazing smart top for free. This awesome hardcover handles Northwest weather, locks in heat, and looks fantastic. Santa loves a smart top, and so will you. It's the perfect gift to put under the tree. Details at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
John Curley here. When your house feels colder than it should, comfort matters. For heating, plumbing, or electrical, call the comfort people at Home Comfort Alliance or visit homecomfortalliance.com.
And just like that, we are at the end of our Tuesday edition, Christmas Eve edition of the Gee and Ursula Show. We sure appreciate all you hanging out with us and being such an important part of our show. Chef, really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you
Thank
and your
you.
family.
Thank you.
And Nick, wanted to I'll say thank you here in just a second, but we do need to share some of your feedback. A lot of you were texting in. I can tell that a lot of people are on vacation today already.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are on vacation mode.
Yep, absolutely. But we did get a number of texts. We'll start with the Seattle Christmas market. Carolyn Lake Stevens says the entire family was going to come down from the Snohomish area to make it a fun Christmas activity and go to the market. But when we found out there was an entrance fee, as well as how much it was going to be for the whole family, upwards of $100 just to get in, we went bowling instead. I think charging to get into a Christmas market that you're going to end up purchasing other food and other items is wrong. Charging people $25 on the weekend is ridiculous. I agree. Pay to shop.
Yeah, and it's not cheap. Now, the one thing that Mark and I did notice with the food vendors and the craft booths, but especially the food vendors, is that You know how a lot of times when you go to Bumbershoot or you go to some of those food festivals and you see the same ones over and over again? We actually saw a lot of different ones. And of course, a lot of them were German themed, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh, cool.
So, I mean, if you go, there's stuff to do and there is entertainment, but it's going to cost you. On late bloomers, we had a great conversation about that. Jerry in the 206 says, there's no such thing as a late bloomer. Flowers open when they're ready.
That's a great way to look at it. Hard in the locker room, though, I'll tell you what. The American Heart Association has updated their CPR playlist with, inexplicably, Pearl Jam.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work, by the way.
Yeah, Randy in Edmonds points out that many feel Staying Alive is insensitive. I had not considered that.
I know. And what's the song, the Pearl Jam song? What's the name of the song?
Even Flow.
Because even that could be insensitive.
I think Staying Alive is contextual, though. You know,
It is.
It matches what you're doing.
You're trying to keep someone staying alive, and everyone knows that song. And I mean, ultimately, that's the point, right?
It's about remembering it.
Exactly. On cats pooping and the right to roam, Bob in Edmonds says, Edmonds has a cat ordinance humorously called the cat leash law, which has actually been effective. Were you aware of that?
I was not aware of that, and I live there. We have neighborhood cats.
Yeah. So what do you do? I mean, have you ever had to complain to a neighbor about their cat coming out of your yard?
No. I mean, because I don't see them digging in our garden beds. But if they were doing that constantly, then yeah, I would have a conversation. The problem is most people don't have any identifiers on their cats. Cat collars are a lot less common than dog collars. And so I have no idea who the cats in our neighborhood belong to. Yeah. Anyways, Josh in Auburn points out if urban and suburban houses kept their cats indoors, then coyotes may feel like they should look for food elsewhere. But also our neighbors leave their cats outside and they mark my front porch. Ugh. These other cats roam everyone's yards.
On boiling lobsters being banned in the UK, Sue in Enumclaw says, totally disagree with you guys regarding treatment of the food we eat. Why not spare a living thing a few more seconds of pain? I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that, too. It's just enforcing it as a legal standard seems implausible. And I think it's just one of those things that should be an aware social norm. Hey.
On land acknowledgements, a bunch of you texted in. Duan says, with regards to the land acknowledgement conversation, even though it is a small gesture, acknowledgement of past misdeeds is at least a start. Every journey starts with the first step. We are on the journey. Let's not end it prematurely.
To which Fernando says, the UW is the largest landowner in downtown Seattle and making a lot of money. If UW really cared, they would return the land to Indigenous people instead of just acknowledging that they took it.
And that was our point. I think you and I kind of landed on the same thing with that, which was, I wish that we would do more to actually
meaningful action trumps meaningless words.
Exactly. Okay, let's get to words to live by. And because we are heading into Christmas, I just want to wish everybody a very, very happy holiday season. May all that is beautiful, meaningful, and all that brings you joy be yours this holiday season and throughout the coming year. Cannot thank you enough for you giving us this opportunity to do a show and you being a part of it. Chef, thank you.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Merry Christmas. Nick.
Well, it's our final show before the holidays begin as the last few gifts are wrapped up to give the kids a cheerful grin. So on behalf of everyone you hear from 9 to noon, have a safe and happy holiday before we're back real soon.
Happy holiday to you.
And my last wish for everyone to have a festive time is avoiding any kiddie poo committing front lawn crimes. I think it's a Wales version of Drummer Boy. That's a fair punishment for the feline. How about that?
And Doug, we're not going to sing it again, at least not this year. Jake and Spike coming up next. Actually, Jake is solo, so give him some love. Stay with us, and happy holidays.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
And Santa Claus has got a toy for every good girl and good little boy. Santa's a great big bundle of joy when he's coming down the chimney down.
When he's coming down the chimney down.
He'll have a big fat pack upon his back and lots of goodies for you and for me.
Hey, we just want to wish you guys a very happy holidays, Merry Christmas, however you guys are celebrating with your families. You excited, Spike?
I'm very excited. From us here at the Jake and Spike Show and Laura, it's been a wonderful year getting to know you, the audience, and having you get to know us. We've got some great things behind us, but even more in front of us for 2026. I can't wait.
Right now, we're going to go home and spend some time with our families. I'm going to be in a house with a lot of loud kids. How are we going to celebrate? Have a wonderful Merry Christmas. I hope you have a great time with your families and that Santa brings you everything you want.
And a Happy New Year to all.
How about a New Year's resolution where the commitment takes just one day and the results can last a lifetime? Address years of hair loss like I did with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. Using your own natural hair, Advanced Hair can restore your bald spot, receding hairline, or thinning. All backed by Advanced Hair's guarantee. Celebrate the new year with a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
So Pure Talk just had their best year ever and asked me if I'd like to thank their customers on their behalf for being so awesome. I said sure. It's important to say thanks, especially this time of year, which is why, as one of their many satisfied customers, I should probably thank Pure Talk first for keeping their customer service in this country and for providing hundreds of American jobs. I appreciate that. I also appreciate their Roundup program, which makes it easy to support America's Warrior Partnership and join the fight against veteran suicide. And I love that Pure Talk donated 1,000 hand-sewn Made in America flags to veterans around Independence Day. And of course, I really appreciate their generous support of my own foundation, MicroWorks, and their commitment to help us train the next generation of skilled workers. Having said all that, it's now my pleasure, on behalf of everyone at Pure Talk, to thank you sincerely for choosing to do business with an American wireless company that actually stands for something. And one more thing. Merry Christmas.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Millions of Americans use credit cards to purchase goods every day. The Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates put the secure transactions you rely on at risk, leaving you vulnerable to hackers and foreign cybercriminals that want your data. Hackers win. You lose. Guard your card before it's too late. Tell Congress your data security is not for sale and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition.
Ready for your next chapter? At Edmonds Village, discover independent living that's truly exceptional. Premium apartments, all-inclusive chef-prepared dining, and a vibrant community in beautiful Edmonds, Washington. Call to learn about Edmonds Village end-of-year incentives. It's time to say yes to more connection, more adventures, more you. Tour today, reserve your spot, and start living fully on your terms at Edmonds Village. Call now, 425-534-5100 to learn more. There is so much to love at Edmonds Village.
So Pure Talk just had their best year ever and asked me if I'd like to thank their customers on their behalf for being so awesome. I said sure. It's important to say thanks, especially this time of year, which is why, as one of their many satisfied customers, I should probably thank Pure Talk first for keeping their customer service in this country and for providing hundreds of American jobs. I appreciate that. I also appreciate their Roundup program, which makes it easy to support America's Warrior Partnership and join the fight against veteran suicide. And I love that Pure Talk donated 1,000 hand-sewn Made in America flags to veterans around Independence Day. And of course, I really appreciate their generous support of my own foundation, MicroWorks, and their commitment to help us train the next generation of skilled workers. Having said all that, it's now my pleasure, on behalf of everyone at Pure Talk, to thank you sincerely for choosing to do business with an American wireless company that actually stands for something. And one more thing. Merry Christmas.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at Progressive.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.